deal? What's the deal? Guys? Are we rolling or what's the deal? I think we're rolling. Huh? Guy? I'm gonna give it a second. Oh, are we live? Oh, hi. I did get some rest. Hi guys. Hi. Where are you guys watching from? I was supposed to go live an hour ago and totally lost track of what time it was. Whoops. But good to go now. Wisconsin, whoa. Whoa. I think we are good to go. If you guys can hear me, let me know where you are watching from. And I'm gonna give it a second for people to join. We've got Wisconsin, amazing. Just making sure people can hear me. Huh? Hey guys. I was able to get some good quality rest. Yes, I was. And if you guys can hear me. Oh, Milwaukee. I didn't have a response. It wasn't a bad response. Why would it be a bad response? I said, oh, Wisconsin. I'm gonna give it a second before we get rolling. My day was very good. Is you vibrating? Vibrating? What does vibrating mean? I don't know. I'm one of those people here. I don't know the current day lingo. What does vibrating mean? Does that mean like I hope you will tell us about your travel adventures. I will tell you about my travel adventures. I will. I have lots to tell. And we're playing the donation game. Oh my gosh, she's back. Again. Which is very fun. We did this the last 3 live streams, and I enjoy it. It's fun. So we're doing that too. And yeah, that's what we're doing. It's like frequency, positive energy. Oh, okay. Yes, very good. Very good frequencies. Very good positive energy. All that, yes. Yeah, I was supposed to go live about an hour ago, and I totally had no idea what time it was until I realized, oh snap, I'm supposed to be on live. So, sorry if anybody was waiting. But that's what we're doing. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Or week. It's not the weekend. I don't even know what day it is. It's almost the weekend. I said it like the Dutch people. I'm feeling a lot better. Feeling good. I'm always, well, usually I'm feeling good, but sometimes I'm really tired. Oh, here it's Thursday, so I'm like, I don't even know what day it is. Don't mind me. I never know what day it is. Okay, well, I hope you're having a good midweek. Boom, there we go. A good midweek. And I hope to chat with you guys. Have a good chit chat. And let me see. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Dang, so like most people. What time is it where you guys are? So it should be around, it should be, oh, okay. 6 p.m. East Coast time. Yeah, 3 p.m. It's 3. I'm assuming it's afternoon for like a lot of people, right? It's 6:30. It's 3. Okay. That's a little better than usual. I assume people get off of work around like 4 or 5. I don't know. I just try to pick the best time and we'll go with it. Probably live stream for about 3.5, 4 hours, and we'll take it from there. I want to tell you guys some crazy stories. I want to talk about silent killers that are laziness, lack of discipline, and laziness, lack of discipline, and anxiety. Silent killers, I want to talk about that. And whatever else you guys want to talk about. For the most part. And yes, again, we are playing the donation game. You know I'm fundraising. You know I am for my next 20, for my goal of visiting every country in the world, actually. And then so if anyone wants to donate any of these amounts, I'll lift up the card and I'll do what's underneath, and it's super fun. I like this game. It's 1 a.m. in Uganda. Why are you awake? Why are you awake? What's going on? $1:30. Water. Hello. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am full steam ahead. I always assume everybody knows this, but there's still people who don't know that watch my channel that don't know I'm on a mission to visit every country in the world. The goal is to finish my goal of visiting every single country in the world next year. This year I'll finish the continent of Africa. There are 54 countries in Africa, and I've been to 12 of them. And so the goal is to visit the remaining 42 countries in Africa in 2025. You want to make friendships. Hmm? Yeah, that's the goal, to finish the entire continent of Africa in 2025. Why? Because I'm visiting every country in the world, and Africa literally has the most countries of any continent, and they're extremely difficult to travel. So, my theory is when I finish Africa, it will be a piece of cake to finish the rest of the world. I have been to 135 countries, and there are 195 countries in the world. So when I finish visiting the continent of Africa, I will have officially been to 177 countries. So I will be very close to finishing this goal, is kind of what I'm saying. That's kind of what I'm saying. So, yeah. Is it difficult? You have no freaking idea. Is it fun? Yes. But difficult. Oh boy. Especially because I'm doing it by myself. Um, what what motivates me? What motivates me? I like chasing impossibly, ridiculously hard goals. It's like, I don't know. I saw this marathon runner get interviewed, and it made so much sense to me when I heard his response. Um, there's this marathon runner. He's one of the best marathon runners in the world. I can't think of his name, but he runs 100-mile marathons all the time. He'll do like 100-mile marathon once a month, and he'll finish them in like under 72 hours without stopping. I mean, I guess he stops for short breaks, but he runs 100 miles. He does these 100-mile marathons. Anyways, they interviewed him. I watched his interview, and they asked him why he does the marathons, what motivates him, how does he do them, and he said, well, I guess my theory is if I can do really hard things like run 100 miles, then what can I do? And I was like, that's so true. If you can do incredibly hard things, then it gives you this like backbone in life. Like, well, then if I can do this, I can do anything. If I can make it through this, I can make it through anything. So when I heard his response, it made a lot of sense, and I feel the same way. So that's what keeps me going on this extremely difficult goal of visiting every country in the world by myself. It's like, if I can visit every country in the world, what can I do? I can handle whatever comes my way, and I can figure it out if because I did this other really hard thing. It's like a confidence builder. Plus, it's my personality type. I am extremely. There's a book called Surrounded by Idiots. I don't know if you guys have heard that book. It's a very popular book. It talks about there's red people, blue people, green people, and yellow people. And when I read that book, I was like, I'm a red person. A red person is like, it's like the rarest type of person in the world. A person who loves challenges, loves, is obsessed, goal oriented, challenge seeking. What is the craziest thing I can figure out how to do? And I want to do it. Unfortunately, I'm that kind of person. So, yeah, if I'm not making myself extremely uncomfortable in some way every day, then I don't really feel alive in the best way. In the best way. I like being challenged. And something that's really hard too. Because if it's easy, then it's, who cares? So yeah, I would say I took it to the limit with this goal of visiting every country in the world. But we are in the deep part of these waters. So no turning back now. Oh, thank you. No turning back now. And yeah, it's fun. It's challenging. Some days are only fun. Some days are only challenging. What place did you visit that taught you the most things? China. 100% China. This makes the skydiving make so much sense. Right. I'm crazy. I looked at people skydiving like tandem, like attached to somebody else. You know, when you can skydive and you're attached to somebody else, and I'm like, that's corny. I want to jump out of the plane by myself. I don't want to be attached to somebody. I'd rather, yeah, I'm crazy. I don't have Venmo. I feel like that only works for people in the United States. Although I'm from the United States, you literally, it's like it just doesn't work when you're outside the US. That's what I found. So, unfortunately, but I wish I had Venmo. I have Cash App for the donations. And if you don't have it, you can leave a super chat. But yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't work for people if you're outside the US, even though I'm from the US and I'm a citizen of the US. It just doesn't work outside, unfortunately. Oh, we have a super chat. Thank you so much. Prosperity to you and family. Glad you're keeping goal going. Thank you so much. I very much am. I would say that that is I won't say difficult, but the goal takes everything. This goal of visiting every country in the world, it takes everything. You got to get up every day and go for it. So, or else it won't happen. It's not going to happen otherwise. So, full steam ahead. We're going to do this goal. End of story. But, oh, another super chat. Thank you so much, Alex, for the super chat. Thanks so much. And you guys, we're still playing the game. So, I don't know if you were in the last two live streams. So, I'll explain it again. It's like a donation game. You know, I'm fundraising for this every country goal to visit every country in the world. So, like, you can donate any one of these amounts via the Cash App, which is, I pinned it in the comments section. You can send it via the Cash App. Any one of these amounts, I'll pull the thing up and do whatever it says underneath. There's funny stuff under there. How many countries have you visited? I've been to 135 countries in my life. And there are 195 in the world. Actually, if you want to get technical, there are 193 countries in the world. But every other day, there's countries that flip back and forth from being countries. Like Kosovo, one week it's a country, the next week it's a state. One week it's a country. It can't make up its mind whether it wants to be a country or not. So, like, you can check the UN website. One day Kosovo will be considered a country. The next day Kosovo is not considered a country. So who knows? And same with, there's another country that, is it Eswatini? That always goes back and forth between being a country and a state, a country and a state. But anyways, yeah. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today because you guys know I love to talk. Well, do I love to talk? Yes, I guess. I don't know. And I want to talk about silent killers. I think a lot of people, we misidentify our problems in life. We always think other people we always think other people are our problems and they're not. We usually, are, was your intention to travel the world from the beginning? No, it was not my intention to travel the world from the beginning at all. At all. I just dropped out of college because I was going through a very difficult time. I was going to college in Boston, and after 3 years or 2 years, it wasn't working for me. It wasn't. I hated it. I found it incredibly stupid. I went to college in Boston, and my college was about 15 minutes away from Harvard. So I remember going to Harvard, and it freaked me out. I would go to the Harvard campus all the time, have lunch there. I had a lot of friends, also at MIT. A lot of our colleges were so close together that I just knew so many people in college. Like, I had a lot of friends that went to Harvard. I had a lot of friends that went to MIT, two of the best schools in the entire world. because my school was about 10 minutes away. I knew a lot of people that went to some of the best schools in the world, and it freaked me out, basically, is what I'm saying. And the people that I went to school with, the whole thing seemed so stupid to me after about 2.5 years. I'm like, why are we all paying all this money that we can't even afford, sitting at a freaking desk listening to people talk, and we're not actually living? Like, I'd rather be learning and living myself. And I wasn't necessarily seeing people go off and be successful. I was seeing people go off and live in a ton of debt. Or like, no one, I don't know, it just, no one seemed happy. Everyone seemed stressed out, and it didn't, the whole college concept started to really be like, I need to get out of this, because I just felt like it was a trap, and I felt like it was incredibly pointless. So I started to do some research, and I realized all of my heroes, all the people that I looked up to in life, didn't go to college. Well, actually, they did, but they ended up dropping out. Literally, every single person that I looked up to in life didn't do the college thing. So I got freaked out. I'm like, I want to get out of this. This is a trap. I want to get out. This is stupid. And I was going through a very difficult time in life. Like, I was just all over the place. So I dropped out, and my goal was to go visit my sister in China for 3 months while I figured out what I wanted to do. They have YouTube courses. What? They don't have YouTube courses in college. I just, no offense if anybody's in school, but I just think it's stupid. I really do. I think it's, especially if you're young. Like, how are you supposed to know what you want to do at age 18? And then you get yourself in all this debt. And then, like, I don't know. So I decided I wanted to drop out. And then I didn't know what the heck I was going to do, though. So I was just going to go stay with my sister in China for 3 months while I figured it out, because she was already living in China. So I went to go visit her. The plan was that I was going to live with her for 3 months. And I ended up staying for 3 years. And my whole life changed when I went to China. My whole brain changed when I went to China. And the only reason I started a YouTube channel, yeah, I just think it's stupid that, I don't know, like, people in America, this is literally, Elon Musk said this, that Americans, we have the most degrees of anybody in the world, and literally it's like 70% of people don't even use the degree that they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on, and it's not necessarily even producing successful people at all these freaking degrees, and all these people spending all this money and time in college, and they're not even teaching you anything. You could be out learning way more on your own, for real. Now, I'm not speaking for every college, but I think most of them are a big joke. It's lit. College was. I don't want to get in. Are we going to go into the whole college thing? It was literally designed to make factory workers. After the Great Depression, the American government realized we make the most money when people are working at factories. We need factory workers. We need employees. We don't want a bunch of CEOs. We don't want a bunch of, we don't even necessarily want a bunch of, incredibly smart business people. We need employees. We need people in cubicles. They want butts in cubicles. That's what they want. So that's why college was even invented in the first place. For real, it really was. They're like, we're going to indoctrinate these people. We want them to work for us. We don't want them, getting too much life experience before they get into debt. Once they're in debt, they're going to have to pick some 9-to-5 job, and they're going to make us money. So I figured that out when I was in college. I literally remember one time I was sitting on my college campus, and I was just like, this is a big joke. Like, all these kids we're all stressed out all the time. We're not supposed to be stressed out at 18, 19, 20 years old. We're running around worried about essays and sitting in desks and listening people talk at us and getting into insane amounts of debt. I mean, insane amounts of debt. So yeah, I was just like, I'm not, no, not into this anymore. So yeah, I dropped out, and then I moved to China. But that was only because my sister was already living there and I wanted to visit her. But the goal was to only visit her for 3 months. And so I ended up loving it. Oh, thanks, Alex. Thanks so much. Thank you so much. But yeah, that's how this all started. I went to China. My whole brain changed. I feel like I don't even know who I was before I moved to China. I just don't even know what I knew. I didn't know anything. To be able to see the world from a different perspective freaked me out. To see it in China was the most perfect place too. China was the most perfect place, and oh, someone said they donated. Oh, yeah. We 1999, that qualifies for a $20 removal. Alex donated 1999. That qualifies. Okay, this one says I'm gonna tell you a crazy travel story. Out. But I think that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna continue. Oh. Okay. I'm going to this says I'm going to tell you a crazy travel story, but I feel like I was just about to do that anyway, so I'm going to continue with the story I was already telling about when I first moved to China. Oh, thank you so much. So, you donated $40 in total. So, yeah, I pulled down a $20 one. I don't have another. Yeah. Thank you. So I'm going to continue with the story I was already telling because it says, tell crazy travel story. So I first moved to China. I was 20 years old. I was 20 years old, going on 21, and I was in shambles. Had no idea I didn't know anything. I didn't know what I was doing in China. I didn't know what I was doing in life. I didn't know anything. And all I know is, and I moved in with my sister, whom I thought I would be with her all day long, so when I first got to China, she was like, hey, and I'm like, hey, and then she picks me up and we go to her place, and then she's like, yeah, so I usually work all day, so she would give me money and she'd leave. And I'd be like, where are you going? She's like, I have to work. And I'm like, oh. So it was this big, like, I didn't know that when I went to China, I'd be on my own. I think literally, no, this was God turning me into like a independent solo woman because I had no choice. I assumed that when I was going to visit my sister in China that we'd be together all day long, but I realized as soon as I got there that she had a job and she literally worked all day. She'd leave in the morning, she'd come back at like 10 p.m. No, she's from America. She's like me. She moved there. So she had a job, so I would be alone all day, and I was freaked out. I was so scared to go outside. Like, she would be like, here's money for food. I'm leaving. I have to go to work. I'll be back at night. So I'm like, I don't speak Chinese. What am I doing? She's like, she taught me basic things to say in Chinese. And she even wrote down some stuff if I didn't want to speak. But I'm like, I'm scared to go outside by myself. Like, this is China. I don't know where the heck I'm going. And she's like, just figure it out. And I'm like, okay. It took me about a week. I was too scared for like the first week that I was in China. I was too scared to go outside. I was like, people are going to look at me. I don't know. I speak Chinese. You know what I'm saying? It freaked me out. Then eventually I was like, I'm either going to literally sit indoors all day while I'm on the other side of the world, or I'm going to figure out how to go outside and speak to people. So I did. I remember the first time. I remember it like it was yesterday that I decided to go out for the first time after, because sat inside in my sister's place for a week and it was just miserable, you know? It was miserable. So I went outside and I had to figure out how to talk to people. Thanks so much, Alex, for the additional super chat. Thank you so much. So yeah, I was like, and it freaked me out. I was not the solo independent world traveler that I am now. No, 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 no. I became that because I didn't have a choice. So I remember I walked around the neighborhood and it was weird, you know? And I remember the first time I ordered food on my own. I remember it like it was yesterday. I had used some phrases my sister taught me. But then the thing I learned is every time I attempted to speak Chinese, the Chinese people got so excited, they'd help me. So I remember one time I went into this little. China has really good ice cream. It tastes different from American ice cream. So there are these little ice cream cones, and I wanted one. And so I pointed to the ice cream cone, like in this little convenience shop, and the Chinese person was like, "Tell me you want ice cream." And I'm like, "Bing." They're like, "Yeah, yeah." And I was like, "What? Yao Bing Ti Li." And they were like, "Yeah, yeah." Like they were helping me, which was so sweet. Cause all I was doing was pointing, and you know, they're like, "No, tell us how to say you want ice cream." And I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah. Yeah, I want ice cream." Being chili. That's how you say ice cream in Chinese. And so that's literally how I learned to speak Chinese. I got a little bit more confident every single day. Another super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alex. Whoa, blowing up the super chats. I don't even know what the total is right now. But yeah, that was how I learned to speak Chinese. And then I learned to speak Chinese very well on my own. And my sister said, "Why don't you enroll in school so that you can really learn Chinese?" So then after 1 year of me living in China, oh yeah, and then I got a job, but technically the job wasn't necessarily legal because I didn't have a work visa. So this girl, she knew I spoke Mandarin and English. So she said, "Can you work for me?" A Chinese woman. She said, "Because I have a club, but a lot of foreigners come to my club and I don't know how to speak English." So I said, "Yeah." So I literally worked under the table at this, what would I call it? Was it a club or was it like it was like a dinner theater type of restaurant. They'd have shows, but a lot of foreigners went there, which is funny. A lot of Dutch people went there, which is so crazy when you look at things in hindsight, because now you guys know my boyfriend is Dutch. So it's crazy. So I'd speak to all the Dutch people because they didn't know how to speak Chinese, but they do a lot of business in China. So I would be like the intermediary. I would speak English to them and then I'd speak Chinese. Like I'd communicate, I would do the translating. So I would make good money too. Like I'd make a lot of tips because the Dutch people would tip really, really well. So that's what I would do from like 8 p.m. to like 3 o'clock in the morning every day, you know? So that was what I ended up doing. And then I realized my Chinese got so good, but it wasn't perfect, right? Because I was just learning it like on the streets. So then my sister said, "Why don't you enroll in school, the school that I went to?" So then I went to the school that she went to so I could literally learn how to speak and read Chinese. So that was only after 1 year of being in China. And then my whole life was in China. I literally thought that I'd live the rest of my life in China because I loved it so much. But then my friends were saying, "Why don't you start a YouTube channel? Because I feel like a lot of people don't know what the real China is." And I was like, I was so scared to start the YouTube channel at first. I was so scared because, I don't know, I was a shy person. So they were like, just please post on YouTube. You can tell people about your experiences. And I'm like, sure, I can do that because there was a lot of misinformation about China on the internet. And so my Chinese friends were like, please tell people that we're not communist, angry, unhappy, sick. And can you show your life in China and how much you love it here? And, basically, that's why I started it, the channel, because I wanted to show people that you're wrong about China. You have no idea what you're talking about. Western media paints China to be this evil place with unhappy people, and So, anyways, that's why I started the channel, and because I love my life so much in China. And then I got really inspired to go to other countries because I love China so much. So I would go to Japan all the time, especially when I had like a break from school because the flight was so cheap. From Shanghai, China, where I lived. And I saw somebody requesting me to speak Mandarin. I will speak Mandarin, but you gotta donate. You gotta donate. And I'm doing all kinds of cool stuff, but for the donators. But I would go to Japan all the time. That's where I fell in love with Japan, and we've been in love ever since. Me in Japan. Well, it's me in love with Japan. Because the flight was so cheap. I used to go pay with the cash that I would make at the club I worked at. It wasn't a club. It was like they would do like shows, and I would translate between the foreigners and the Chinese people. And it was usually Dutch people. So there's a lot of Dutch people in China because they do business over there. So, but they don't speak Mandarin. So I would do the translating. I would bring them their food and do the translating. Yeah, that's what I do. And I made really good tips. And so I would go pay cash literally for my flights. I would go on this airline really cheap. It's actually a really dangerous airline. But however, I would go on these really, really cheap flights. It was like $40 to fly from Shanghai to Tokyo and back. So I would do it all the time. And that's kind of where I started my YouTube channel. I would make these stupid little vlogs. But I was having so much fun. I loved it. And then that's how I kind of grew more and more and more. For doing dedication. Oh, thank you so much. You sent a donation last week I'm sure I did receive it. Was it on GoFundMe or Cash App? But thank you so much. So literally that's how this whole thing started. At first I only wanted to travel to Asia. I only had any interest in Asia. I saw myself living and being in Asia for forever. Honestly, I loved it so much. So I would just travel Asia. I'd go to Japan, I'd go to Hong Kong all the time because Hong Kong was so close to Shanghai. On GoFundMe, yes, thank you so much. Thank you very much. And I would go to Vietnam, and I realized after a little bit, I'm like, I'm visiting a lot of countries. So then, since I had only really seen Asia, I was like, I want to see more of the world. A lot of people were telling me, you have to go to Europe, you have to backpack Europe. So I did. And thus and so on. And then I realized that I wanted to visit every country in the world. And then that's why we're here literally still doing the same thing. It's been 7 years that I've been traveling. And I've been to 135 countries within those 7 years. And yeah, full steam ahead. The goal is to visit all of them. And I see myself finishing next year. This year we will finish the continent of Africa because there's 54 countries in Africa. It's crazy how peaceful the world is, but the news makes it seem dangerous. I totally agree. The news never lines up with reality for me. Never lines up with reality. I remember one time I was in Shanghai. I lived in Shanghai, and we'd have typhoons all the time. Typhoon is it's a little bit more serious than a rainstorm. really strong winds, really strong rain. And I remember there was like this news story of like crazy typhoon hits Shanghai, China. And like, I believe my mom called me and she's like, oh, are you guys okay? I see on the news Shanghai has a crazy typhoon. And literally, we're all chilling. Like, we're like, typhoons aren't a big deal. They happen all the time. And literally, it's just heavy rain and wind for about 2 hours and then it's perfectly fine. I mean, that's happened so many times. I remember one time I was in Turkey, all over the news in Turkey. Turkey's having a coup. Chaos in Turkey. I'm literally walking around Turkey like it's just not true. You got to understand something. The news wants you to watch. It's a theory. I can even admit that as a YouTuber. As a YouTuber, what is the goal? The goal is that people click on our videos. So, I mean, some people need they need something to scare you, or they need I'll tell you what always sells. Gossip always sells if you're talking bad about another person. A fear always sells. Scary, something happened to me in foreign country. That always sells. These kind of things sell. Bad news, striking news. So you got to understand something. Same thing with YouTube. Some people, they realize I'm going to get the most views, I'm going to get the most money, aka money, if I entice you. They don't want to say normal stuff, you know what I'm saying? Oh, a lovely woman helped a chicken across the street, or I don't know. This beautiful family got married and had kids and they're still together. You know, no, it's husband cheats on wife divorce, you know what I'm saying? Child gets kidnapped. That's the stuff people want to see. You know? So it's about views. So that's why I kind of said I started my YouTube channel. I wanted to show people at least whatever I was experiencing, obviously. You're a massage therapist and a lot of your clients get stressed out by watching the news. All people get stressed out by watching the news. What does it say in the Bible? Guard your ear gate and eye gate. For real? There's a reason it says that. God says to guard what you watch. Be careful what you watch. Because it 100% stresses everybody out. That's why Miss Thing doesn't watch the news. I don't watch the news. No. If there's something big enough, somebody will tell me. I don't have time. No. And it shouldn't be called news. It should be called bad news. Because that's what it is. Yeah, that's why I made my Afghanistan documentary, because the way we spun that Afghanistan story freaks me the heck out. It actually made me scared, the way that the world feeds on lies. It just freaked me out, honestly. I mean, I've already been freaked out so many times by actually visiting a place versus what the news says. I mean, that was China, whatever. But the Afghanistan one freaked me out. It scared me because it's like, if they control this much, if they control this many people and they can say whatever the heck they want. The Afghanistan story is so sad. We, Americans, went there. They didn't come to us. We went there and bombed the mess out of them. Just started killing people. And then we gaslit and made it seem like it freaks me. Like, that whole thing freaks me out. That's how you found my channel. Wow. It's so sad. Hi, Cara. Thanks for tuning in. We're talking about the news, the difference between the news and how it's meant to garner fear and anxiety. And the truth is, for real, like, I realized this, like, in college, like, I think, in my opinion, the American government, the American system doesn't want a bunch of successful, brave, individual people, you know? They want a bunch of scared, fearful. Hi. Good evening, Liz. They want everybody to be afraid, and they want you to just go to work at your 9 to 5 every day and watch the news and point fingers. But they don't want you going out. And I think that's what all the plane crash stuff was, truly. When all this news of all these plane crashes we're having, that was curated, you know? Yeah, a bunch of trapped rats. That's what they want. For real. I know it. I know it. So, it's kind of like the Hunger Games. It's crazy when you watch or you read the book Hunger Games. It's crazy to read because it's like, it's very true. What did the snow guy who controlled everything? He was like, we need to kill this girl because she gives people hope. You know, hope is dangerous. The news don't want you hopeful. The government doesn't want you hopeful. They want you scared. That's why they feed you all that mess online. They also want, you know, they want you to watch every day. So there's that too. That's how YouTube runs too. People, you just watch 5 of your kids traveling Ethiopia. What are you? You just watch 5 of your kids. Huh? Whose kids? I don't have kids. Vids. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. But yeah, I'd rather find out on my own, thank you. I don't listen to anything the internet says, really. I don't listen to anything that's on YouTube either. I mean, I watch YouTubers, but my favorite YouTubers are like the outdoor. I really like these outdoor channels where like people. I really want to do that so badly. I watch this YouTube channel called Outdoor Boys. I love them so much. I also love this other YouTuber. His name is Xander Budnick. And they go solo traveling in like the world's craziest locations. Like they'll go like solo camping in the middle of the Arctic. Or they'll like go solo traveling in the middle of Alaska and they have to survive. They figure out how to survive for like a few days. So that's just like, those are my favorite kind of channels. I'm not watching drama or news, never. Because I already know what it's gonna say. Will survives. Got it. Is that a YouTube channel? My 2 favorite YouTube channels, other than Ryan Trahan. I love Ryan Trahan. I also love these 2 outdoor people. All they do, they'll go into the middle of nowhere and see how long they can survive. It's so cool to me. They'll only have like a fishing rod, a machete. They have the basics with them, you know. I'm from New Jersey. But yeah, those are my favorite kind of. I'm not watching YouTube or anything on the internet about drama, any kind of drama, because I already know what it's going to say. They're going to be talking about people. This person got a divorce. This person cheated. This person this person that, this person. It's always bad news. And, or they're going to be talking about some kind of disaster. One country bombed another country. Whatever. It's going to happen. We live on Earth. Next. We live on Earth. That's what's going to happen. And so I don't need to be stressed out all day. I don't need to even know. To me, my peace is the most important aspect of my daily life. Ooh, I love my peace. So I hope to do those kind of videos one day. I don't know. I would love to. It's these guys who, they go by themselves. They'll pick a random area, like in the middle of the Arctic or the middle of the woods or the middle of the Amazon, and they will have basic things. They'll have a tent, a machete, a fishing rod, and they just try to see how long they can survive. Maybe that's what I'll do when I'm finished my goal of visiting every country in the world. Or maybe I'll do it while I'm doing this goal of visiting every country in the world, because that is so freaking cool to me. That is so cool. And I want to see how long I can survive in the wilderness. For real. I would love to figure that out. Because you need basic skills. You need to learn how to make a fire. You need to know how to get fresh, clean water. You need to know what plants are poisonous. You need to know what plants aren't poisonous. Like, it's just freaking cool. It's like Survivor. And so my two favorite YouTube channels are Outdoor Boys and Xander Butnick. They're two guys who their YouTube channel is about surviving on the wilderness, and it's really cool to watch, and it makes me want to do it. So maybe you will see those kind of videos on this channel. I would love to do that. Maybe the first time I would go with somebody else, and then like the second time I would do like all by myself in the wilderness, like in the middle of the woods somewhere, in the middle of the jungle, Amazon, or wherever. Oh, thank you so much, Liz. Thank you so much. No, the point is that you're by yourself. That's the whole point. Is that you're trying to survive, and like I feel like I've learned a lot from these guys already on YouTube. They teach you how to get fresh water. They teach you how to start a fire from nothing. They teach you which plants you can't eat and which you can eat. They teach you how to fix a wound. It's really cool. Have you ever camped well? No, I haven't. I haven't. I did camp one time in Egypt on the Red Sea, but that wasn't intentional. Like, it wasn't on purpose. I was getting a boat from Egypt, from this little tiny town in Egypt called Dahab. I was trying to catch a boat to Jordan, but I was with my little brother and we missed the boat. So literally it took us all day to get to this little tiny boat port, and there was nowhere to stay. And they told us the next boat wasn't coming till the morning. So we didn't know what to do. So they were like, you literally can just camp here. We literally camped on the water right on the Red Sea in this little tiny tent. And that was impromptu. That wasn't intentional. It was only so that we could catch the boat in the morning. There was nowhere to stay. Like, it was a deserted random town in Egypt. But it was right on the Red Sea. And when we woke up, some guy caught a fish for us in the water. We ate it. It got on the boat the next day. But that was cool. That was camping, but it wasn't intentional, like on purpose. And I remember it was so cold. It was so cold, sleeping on the water in the Red Sea in Egypt. And so I saw my brother shivering. He was like shivering, trying to go to sleep. He had all his clothes on, and like I was really annoyed looking at him so cold. So I got up, I tried to make a fire. Some guy ended up helping though. Some random guy saw us, and he's like, let me make a fire for you guys. He made us a little fire, and it warmed us while we went to sleep, and it was really cool. But that was not intentional. It's because we missed our boat. Oh, my mom said there was a little cat in there. Was there a cat? There was a cat. Yes, there was a cat who stayed with us overnight. And yeah, that was the only time I ever literally camped. And thank you so much for the super chat. Every step of the way, camping is the best. You will sleep so good. Look up festival books and seasons. It was born 7-day festival. Interesting. Thank you so much for the super chat. And for the camping advice. But yeah, Egypt. That was the only time I ever camped. But it wasn't fun at the time. It was fun in hindsight, but I was very stressed out because we were missing so many different boats, and yeah, we were trying to get the boat from Egypt to Jordan. We ended up catching it the next day though. It was okay. But they said the next boat is coming very early in the morning. You should just stay overnight on the water. and it was freezing. We were like freezing in this little tiny tent next to the Red Sea. And I remember like it was freaky too because that's the sea that Jesus parted with his staff, you know? Jesus. Jesus didn't do that. Moses. Sorry, guys. Moses parted the Red Sea with his staff, and that's where he did it. So that was really cool to witness. Being right where, literally, we were in Egypt looking at Jordan. That's exactly where Moses, yeah, I corrected myself. I said Jesus. I meant Moses was in Egypt when the Egyptians were coming behind him. He put the staff, opened up, walked to Jordan. That's exactly where I was camping, and it was very cool. And we ate Red Sea fish in the morning. We ate Red Sea fish in the morning, yeah. Which was really cool. Yeah, it's Aqaba was the city on the other side of in Jordan, but we were in Dahab crossing the Red Sea to go to Aqaba, Jordan. Highly recommend if you guys want to travel through if you want to do like the little Bible. A lot of people do that. They want to like travel like the Bible places that are mentioned in the Bible. That's really cool. Beautiful area. Beautiful area. And but yeah, that was amazing. And just looking at the sheer depth of the water, like I was looking at the water being like, and I didn't realize it till the morning either. Like we were camping all night right on the water, right on the beach. And when we woke up, I think it was either me or my brother said, "This is the water that Moses parted." And I was like it hit me like a ton of bricks because I knew where we were, but it didn't hit me immediately, you know? I forget who said it. Either me or my brother brought it up. And I was like, shut up. Shut up. But yeah, way cool stuff. Way cool stuff. And you can see Jordan when you're looking, but still, the water is still really deep, you know? So I'm just picturing that puppy splitting down the middle. Bro. Craziness. Craziness. And very cheap too. Like that area is very, very cheap. Jordan is really, really cheap and affordable. I gotta go back to Jordan. I miss Jordan. Jordan's one of my favorite countries. I've been there like 4 or 5 times, but I need to go back there soon. Well, we were in Dahab, Egypt, and we were on our way to Jordan. We were about to catch a boat. But we realized as soon as we got to the pier, they said, "Oh, the boat just left." But I started to freak out because I'm like, we literally spent all day trying to get here. Where am I supposed to go? You know, we were in Dahab in the middle of nowhere. Dahab, Egypt is like this deserted desert town. You know, there's not a bunch of civilization. You don't see people walking around. It's deserted, and there's not a lot of restaurants. Or I would venture to say there's no restaurants. There's nowhere to get food. There's nowhere to get cash. There's nowhere to sleep. So me and my brother were like, plus we were on a very tight budget. Very tight budget, you know. This was what, 6 years ago? I was making a little money on YouTube, but nothing serious. I wasn't making, you know, and I was taking, also my brother was with me, so we're on a very, very tight budget is what I was trying to say. And so when they said we missed the boat that I had already paid for, I started to freak out. I'm like, no. And so the boat people were like, there's another boat coming very early in the morning. Oh yeah, my mom said we lost contact for several days. Yeah, that happened all the time. And yeah, we couldn't even contact my mom, which she was always worried, especially because my little brother was with me. So we literally didn't know what to do. And they said, well, there's another boat coming in the morning, but very early in the morning. So I'm like, what do we do until then? And they said, you could just camp on the beach and wait for the boat. Literally, we found a little hut, made a little tent, and we went to sleep on the Red Sea with no food, no water, no heating. And so we took all of our clothes out of our suitcase and we kind of just bundled up, like, but it was so cold. And I was like looking at my brother. He was freezing, and it was really irritating, like it was really getting to me. So I like walked a little bit. I asked somebody, like, do you know how to make a fire? Please make a fire for me and my brother. We're waiting for a boat to come in the morning. We're trying to get to Jordan. So a man came and helped us. He made a little fire, and that heated us all night. It felt so good. But we had no food still. So I remember we woke up in the morning and some random guy came by. You know, in hindsight, when you realize these people are probably angels, like it was probably an angel. Some random guy, we woke up, some random guy walks by and he's like, have you guys eaten? And we're like, no, we're hungry. And this guy just pulls out this fishing rod. He catches these two giant fish and he just cooks them for us right there. So yeah, that was crazy. And the boat showed up, like, let's say it showed up 7:30, something like that. And we got on it. And it takes you right to Jordan. Takes you past Saudi Arabia to Jordan on the Red Sea. And I realized, like literally in the morning, that is where Moses parted the sea to help the Israelites. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're on the Red Sea that Moses parted, right where he parted it too. I know, I can't even imagine. Like I was trying to imagine, I was like, I can't imagine this thing splitting in half or splitting down the middle. Like, bro, craziness. But if you ask me, did it feel spiritual? Like, did it feel like I was inside of a Bible story? Yes. And it's beautiful. It's breathtaking. The area is breathtaking. Hi, good evening. Thank you so much. So you love my videos. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. So, yeah, that was cool. But that was the only time that I camped while on this journey. But it wasn't like an intentional camping. It was not intentional. It was because you guys have to rough it when you're traveling the world by yourself or traveling the world rogue. So yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy time, and I kind of forgot about that. So thanks for asking that question, because you know, these kind of stories you tend to forget them. You don't forget them, you just don't think about them that often. So yeah, that was crazy, and ended up going to Jordan, which was a whole nother situation, but very beautiful, and Jordan is amazing. Jordan, highly recommend. Little tucked away country. There's a Dead Sea there. It's beautiful. That's where Jesus fasted for 40 days, 40 nights in the desert. Me and my brother stayed there too. Petra's beautiful. Me and my brother went to Petra too. Really, really, really beautiful. It feels like you're inside the Bible for real. It does feel that way when you're in these places. For real, that the stories come alive and it feels, like it feels like that. Wadi Musa, it's a desert in Egypt. It's a desert in Jordan. Very beautiful. Huh? What does that mean? But yeah, if you guys don't know, we are fundraising. Alex, I think, Alex is the only donator so far. Thank you so much. If you don't know, I'm fundraising for for literally the goal of visiting every country in the world. So these are donation amounts. And you can donate any amount, and I'll do the thing that it says underneath. Really, really fun. I love this game. And then, yeah, you're helping me with visiting every country in the world. And yeah, I'll do whatever it says underneath. There's like yeah. And the donation is via the Cash App. I have it tagged in the comment section. I pinned it. And yeah, you'll be helping me with this goal, and there's fun things underneath each one of them. That's why I always say um, the donation is via Cash App, because if you leave a super chat on YouTube, YouTube takes 20%. Yeah. So I very much appreciate the very much appreciate the super chats, but I don't get 100%. YouTube takes 20%. So that's why I usually do the donations via the Cash App, because I get 100% of the donation. So, but those who leave super chats, I still appreciate it, and thank you so much. But YouTube takes 20% of that. YouTube makes money. They know how to make their money. Yeah. So the donations via the Cash App for this game, because I get 100%. But super chat still appreciated. Thanks. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. We did this game yesterday and the day before on the live stream, and it went really well. I like this because I kind of even forget what's under each post-it note. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Keep my eyes peeled. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, we're gonna finish literally. Well, I'm not gonna finish the whole world this year. I'll finish Africa this year, which will be a big piece of the puzzle. A huge piece of the puzzle. Finishing Africa is will be a huge milestone, because there's 54 countries here, you know. So I'm gonna feel so accomplished after finishing Africa, because it'll bring me so close to finishing the goal of visiting every country in the world. I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. Thanks so much. Doing well. It is a little bit exhausting. I always tell people, if I weren't on a mission to visit every country in the world, I'd probably be in Japan like 100% of the time. My comfort zone. But I also love seeing the world. It's very cool. Very cool. What were those white lines like? They're beautiful. Beautiful. Like, they didn't even look real. If you don't know what they're referring to, I hung out with some white lions when I was in southern Africa, and I don't know if I've ever seen anything so beautiful. They're just gorgeous. Huge and gorgeous. Those animals are just, look majestic. They didn't even look real. Insane. Hi, thanks so much. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing very good. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. Little tired. Little tired. I've been on my own the entire year, which has been a little difficult. The entire year of 2025, I've been alone, but it's okay. I meet people and they brighten my day, and yeah. So there's been difficult aspects, but Yeah, I've been in Africa the whole year, trying to finish this goal. Trying to finish this goal. Thank you so much. Thank you. That means so much. Because it's definitely hard. Definitely hard. Hi. Hello. Go, go, glow. Go, go, glow. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. I want to know if anybody has ever done this before. I really do. I don't know if they've ever done it before. But thank you. Internet hug. Thank you very much. Yeah. Extremely difficult. But some parts are fun, but some parts aren't so fun, but that's part of a journey, right? Keep yourself happy. God keeps me happy. I'm very happy. Well, happiness is a fleeting moment. The definition of happy is like, it comes from the word happenstance. It means a reaction. Something happened and you have like a positive reaction. Happiness isn't my goal in life, because happiness is like, it's not a constant state of mind, where joy is. Joy is a constant state of mind that is non-circumstantial. So that is my goal. My goal isn't happiness. Happiness is like a reaction. It's like a quick reaction to something that you like. Oh, my video went viral. I'm happy. Or, oh, I don't know. Something happened to you that you liked, but it's not a constant state of mind. Joy is a constant state of mind, and peace. Those are my goals, and I would say that I do have both of them, joy and peace, because they're not based on anything. They're based on God. You know, it's very true. You can be at peace even if things aren't going your way. You can be joyful even if things aren't going your way, if those things are based on something that is unchangeable, God. Right? So things could be going all wrong and you could still have like a deep, 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 deep peace inside of you, which I say that I, in the name of Jesus, have. I really do. But I do have sad moments, lonely moments. I sure do, and that's okay. Because it's just feelings. Feelings, they're just feelings. It's okay. Feelings are just here 1 second, gone the next. Every time you feel down, you put on your favorite song and dance, or you put on something funny. I feel like joy is a choice to choose not to dwell in unfortunate circumstances. Right. Exactly. And I do something similar. I'm in a place in my life where I basically 100% cut out secular music. I was convicted a few years ago, so I don't listen to anything raunchy, anything nasty. I listen to either Christian music, but if it's not Christian, it's clean, it's instrumentals or classical or cultural music that's not nasty. And I would say that music brings me so much peace. And I definitely also listen to my favorite, but honestly, the songs that make me happy are always Christian. They are, though, to be honest. There's so many singers I love that bring me so much peace. Secular music means worldly music, like secular means like what's the definition of secular? Worldly, like explicit, you know? Music that's talking about cursing or saying anything about sex or drugs or anything raunchy, nasty. It's all the music in the mainstream. Any rappers, anything nasty, you know? Or not even rappers, like the big people these days, you know, the big that are singing about, all they're talking about is sex, that kind of stuff. Mainstream, yeah, mainstream, worldly stuff. I'm still reading my Ethiopian Bible. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Every day I read it a little bit every day, and it blows my mind. I'm like, what the heck is? I told you that I told you guys I bought an Ethiopian Bible, and I bought an Ethiopian Bible, and it has 81 books in it, where the Western Bible, meaning the American Bible, has 61 books. They removed 20 books from the Bible. So it's been crazy to read a Bible that hasn't had the books removed. It's been blowing my mind. I told you guys I've been reading the book of Enoch, 66. I've been reading the book of Enoch, and it's crazy. It's about how God was. It's the book of Enoch. Enoch is Noah's great grandfather. Agreed, Alex, agreed. But the book of Enoch is about. Enoch was, he's mentioned in Exodus, the book of Exodus, as one of God's favorite people. And he was Noah's great grandfather, and God told him all this stuff. God told him he was going to send the flood before he even sent it. And the book of Enoch is about how all these fallen angels came to earth. They had a plan. Their plan was to take down humanity. They saw humans and they were incredibly jealous, which is what most of the angels were. Yeah, Enoch was blameless. Yes, he is in Genesis. Yeah, he's mentioned a few times in the Bible as one of God's favorite, close-knit, tight friends. And God loved Enoch. He was an amazing man. So God shared with him a bunch of stuff he was going to do. And so he tells Enoch, you know, all these angels came to earth, basically. The angels were very jealous of us because God said that he loved us. God never said he loved the angels. God doesn't love angels, you know, but God loves humans. The angels were incredibly jealous. They also were jealous of the fact that we were made in God's image. Angels are not made in God's image. Humans are made in God's image. So the angels were so upset. And so they had a plan. How do we, aka the devil is one of those angels, the fallen angels, and they're like, how do we take down humanity? So they came down and they had sex with a bunch of humans, which is disgusting. And they made these creatures called the Nephilim. The Nephilim are mentioned briefly in Genesis, but I believe this is why the Western Bible took the book out, because the book is a little wild. It talks about how the Nephilim walked the earth and God thought it was the most disgraced, disgusting thing. You didn't know angels weren't created in God's image. Yes, angels were not created in God's image. Angels don't look like humans. Although you'll see movies where angels look like humans, angels don't look like humans. That's silly. God created humans in the beginning. Yeah, so the Nephilim, when God created the earth, he created human beings, right? So, but the angels were here long before then. The angels looked at us. They saw we were made in God's image. They were very jealous. They also saw that God loved us. God does not love angels, but he loves human beings. So they plotted against us. And so the angels came and told Mary that she was going to have Jesus. Yeah, they're messengers. They're messengers. Angel literally means messenger. The word angel, if I'm not mistaken, it means messenger, right? So they came here. They had the Nephilim. The Nephilim were half angel, half human. They were an abomination to God. He was very upset. Yep. He was very angry. God was furious. And not only did the Nephilim walk the earth, the Nephilim had a plot to destroy humans. So these half angel, half human giant things were like, we're going to teach the humans how to sin. So they taught humanity how to sin because their plan was, they were scheming. They were like, if we can get God really angry at the humans, he'll kill them all. And their plan worked because God, that's why God sent the flood, you know? So that's what the book of Enoch is about. The Nephilim and the fallen angels were on earth and they were teaching us how to sin. And it's crazy. The book of Enoch literally deep dives in how they taught us to sin. They taught oral sex, which is crazy. It is crazy the fact that they knew that oral sex is the wrong way to have sex. God created sex. He created it the right way. They wanted us to do it the wrong way, so they taught oral sex. They taught humans how to homosexuality. They taught man and man to sleep together. They taught makeup. They taught women how to do makeup so that they look really sexy. They taught women how to wear jewelry and how to use their bodies to really seduce a man. They taught women to exploit their bodies, you know, and everything about them. They taught God had to know their plan. God was God knows everything, essentially. They taught all these sinful practices because they wanted us to plummet, basically, and they wanted God to be so mad that he killed us. So they really thought their plan was working. They were like, we're going to make God so mad, he's going to just kill them all. And it actually kind of worked because God looked at the earth and how evil it was. He said, all there is sin. Everybody is nasty. And nobody is practicing, you know, obedience to God. He sent the flood. He sent the flood to wipe out that generation, to wipe out the Nephilim, and to wipe out the fallen angels that had came here and were doing all that stuff. Yeah, so that's what the book of Enoch is about. That's the book I've been reading in my Ethiopian Bible, and my brain has been like, oh my gosh. I understand why the Western I get why the Western Church, aka American Bibles, do not have this book anymore. They removed it about 65 years ago. They took the book out of the Bible, which is crazy. I'm like, why would you remove that book from the Bible? But they removed it because it was too offensive. It might offend people. It's too outlandish. Come on, you can't change the Bible. And the book of Sirach also is in this Bible. I've been reading the book of Sirach, which is an amazing, amazing book. The book of Sirach talks a lot about family order. Yeah, suspicious. Any comments about black? Not on my channel about that kind of stuff. Not on my channel. Talking about skin color and what skin color Moses was or whoever, as if you were there because you weren't there. And the Bible never talks about skin color, which is funny. But people do. So there won't be, the Hebrew Israelite stuff won't be on my channel. As incredibly offensive, and nobody was there. So you don't know what color anybody was. And the Bible does not mention skin color. Did he stank for naming his vodka Ciroc? Sounds like Ciroc. Yeah, I don't know anything about Diddy, but the book of Sirach talks about, it's written by a man named Jesus ben Sirach, which is known to be a prophet, and he teaches about family order, which is so crazy that would, that's so crazy that would be taken out of the Bible. I've been reading the book of Sirach, and it's about how God takes family order very seriously. If a man has sex with a woman and a child is created, that man is to marry that woman and take care of that child. Otherwise, face God's wrath. And it just talks about how God puts a heavy responsibility on men who are supposed to be the leaders of households. And yeah, it's just about that. It's about how God takes family order very seriously. If a man wants to stick his penis in a woman, you're going to marry that woman and you're going to get a job. You're going to get as many jobs as you need to get to take care of that child you created. And imagine, bro. Oh my gosh, how many broken families do we have on earth? Because God says in this book, He's going to deal with you on Judgment Day harsher than anybody else, or at least very harsh. Men who have made children that don't go on to marry the woman and take care of the child. God, it says in the book of Sirach that God's going to deal with those men very seriously and in punishment. Imagine if we never took that book out of the Bible. Maybe a lot more people would think twice before they just creating all these broken families. You were in Ethiopia this year? Yes, I was in Ethiopia this year. Yes. It is my favorite book of all. It's like Psalms, Proverbs, Wisdom, Solomon. Yeah, the book of Sirach is like, it's a wisdom book, yeah. And it teaches accountability, which is something that I think is lacking in the Western world. So I'm like, why would we take that book out? Accountability. If you create a child, you are responsible for the child. You must marry that woman and take care of that child. If you need to get 6 jobs, get 6 jobs. You created the child. Boom. And if you don't, there's a special judgment for you on Judgment Day, which is freaky. But other than that, other than the father stuff, it just talks about how accountability. It talks about community, the importance of community. It's important to live within a community so you can be accountable. Because, at this time, they didn't have, like, police. There was no 911 when somebody did something wrong. So accountability was your community. If you did something wrong, your community would know. Your mom would know. Your sister would know. Your next door neighbor would know. And they're meant to hold you accountable. Hey, you did this wrong. Go fix it. And that's the beautiful thing about community, which has been lost on the Western world. Of course, we're all forgiven if we repent. Of course, but I think that repent means to turn. I know repent means to turn, right? Because we can say, we did something wrong to God, and then we could say, God, please forgive me. God, please forgive me. But if we do the thing again, and we don't really, I think what I'm trying to say is there's 2 different types of forgiveness that people assume in the Christian world. There's forgiveness is given to everyone who repents and believes in Jesus, right? But forgiveness is given when you repent. Repent, the word repent means to turn, right? So it's like you can't you thought I was Ethiopian. Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. But yeah, repent means to turn. So it means if you were doing something wrong, stop doing that and move the opposite direction, So there is still time for people to right their wrongs. There's time for everyone to right their wrongs in life, But the book of Sirach specifically talks about how God takes he takes it very seriously when a man creates a child but does not take care of that child. So Although you can be forgiven, there's still time to make it right, or stop doing it. Stop doing the thing. You know what I'm saying? Because there's still a lot of people who don't care about making children. You know, they'll make children left and right, but not have any intention to marry the woman or take care of the child. So, anyways, that's what the book Sirach talks about. That's what I was reading the other day. Practice makes perfect. Sure, yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Definitely. But here's the thing, I don't think it's possible if you're not like, if you're not in the Bible every day, it's so hard to actually do the stuff it says. You can't just, like in Romans, it says, God doesn't care what you know, he cares what you do. That's what Paul said in Romans chapter 2. He talks about God doesn't care what the heck you know. He cares what you do. You can know. I mean, the devil knows the Bible better than all of us. It's not about knowing what it says, it's about doing it. So if we don't know what it says, how can we do it? Food for thought, food for thought. I want to know what the Bible says so I can do it. And it's very hard to do it if it's not in your face all day, like on a regular basis. How are we going to do all this stuff the Bible says? Forgive, love your enemies, walk in purity. I mean, everything that's in there. It's incredibly hard to do it. It's easy to think about it, like, oh yeah, that sounds so good. But then the execution, I don't know. I feel like you need to be in that book every day. Or I'll speak for myself. I do. I do. Or I'm not going to do anything it says in there. You know? Yeah, agreed. And I know I look Ethiopian. You ever thought about having a podcast? I'm glad you think so, Christina. I'm very glad you think so. Maybe one day I will have a podcast. I feel like everybody has a podcast. Like everybody and their mom has a podcast. Maybe one day. Also have to surround around yourself with people with similar mindsets. Yeah, I was reading that today, and there's a book I'm reading by Dave Ramsey right now. Stay tuned about the PO box. Stay tuned. Literally, I'll have one in a few days. So yeah, I'm opening up a PO box. So for anybody who wants to send me anything, so stay tuned. In a few days, it's gonna be opened, and I'll just put it like in the description box of my YouTube videos, and if anybody wants to send me anything, they can send it there. So yeah, stay tuned. And but yeah. Yeah, I was saying I was reading that today in the book I was reading. I was reading a book today by Dave Ramsey, and it talks about listen to this crazy fact. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Not only this, catch this fact. Dave Ramsey, who's like a big like financial advisor, or like he helps people with their finances or whatever, and he does all these stories, right? And he did a study, and he realized that you have the same income as the 5 people you spend the most time with, or like your income hovers around the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So like literally, you are influenced so much by the people that you spend time with, down to the fact, no, I'm not, Liz. You are influenced so much by the people you spend the most time with that even your income will be like an average of the 5, like around an average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you spend time with people who don't know how to save, who waste money, who don't have good money habits, you will have the same habits, which is crazy. And it was proven. It's not a theory. It's proven. Or if you spend money with generous people, or if you spend time with generous people, you will be generous. If you spend time with greedy people, you will be greedy. We literally are the company we keep. It's very true. So that's why they say choose your friends wisely. Very wisely. They are influencing you in ways you don't even know. Don't have close relationships with dummies. And I say that in the kindest way. But Dave Ramsey said it. I was reading his book today. People will pull you down so you can stay on their level. Either they do it consciously or subconsciously. Some people might not even consciously be trying to pull you down, and they do. You know, the human being, it literally says it in the Bible. We are the people we surround ourselves with, period. It is almost impossible. It is one of the hardest things to not be influenced by the people reoccurring in your life. But that could be in a good way or a bad way. You know what I'm saying? That could be a very good thing. That's why they say always have friends who don't be the smartest person in the room. That's very good advice. Because if you're the smartest person in the room, what are you learning, you know? If you have people smarter than you, you're going to become smarter. You hang out with dummies, you're going to become dumb. You hang out with gossipers, you're going to be a gossiper. You hang out with Christians, you might be influenced to become Christian. I don't know. You hang out with for whatever. You hang out with travelers, you're probably going to become a traveler. You hang out with complainers, you're probably going to be a complainer. You hang out with people who waste money, you're probably going to end up wasting money. Or people who don't eat well, you're probably not going to eat well. That's why they say the most important decision you will ever make in your life is who you marry, because you will become like that person. You will become like that human being. It's almost impossible not to. You even start to look like your spouse after a certain amount of time. College City, yeah. I mean, I think college, I'm not going to totally bash college. I don't like college. I don't advise it for when people come to me. But I do think for certain professions, college is a good idea. For certain, like if you know you want to be a doctor, you need to go to college. If you know you want to be a lawyer, you need to go to college, right? But it's just so stupid that we tell a child at 18 their brain isn't even developed. You've got to go off to. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you, let me break down what college is. It's a sex frenzy. You're literally setting a bunch of kids off whose brains aren't even developed. A female, her brain is fully developed around 23. A male, his brain is fully developed at around 25. So you're setting all these kids whose brains aren't even developed. You're telling them to pick what they want to do and get in debt right when their life hasn't even started yet. And then you're indoctrinating them. You're teaching them, boom, how to become an employee, how to show up every day, sit in a desk, listen to somebody tell you what is what. It's stupid. It's literally the stupidest thing in the world. And then they get to teach you whatever they want to teach you. I was in college, and I went to a good college. What did I learn? Nothing. I actually learned false information. I remember I had a world history class, and my teacher, I remember exactly what she looked like. I remember her name even. And I remember she was teaching us about China, which is ironic because I had no idea I was about to move to China. And She was teaching us about China. She was teaching us about, yeah, she was just saying all this incredibly false information. Incredibly. And I'm just like, I mean, I didn't know what she was saying was false, but I just remember sitting in class like, this is so stupid. Why am I sitting at a desk listening to somebody talk at me when I could be going out there and living and learning on my own? And getting into lots of debt. And there's a study, it literally proves that Jordan Peterson did this study. It literally proves that like 80, I forget the number, it's somewhere between 60 and 80% of people in the US do not use the degree they got in college. And there's another study proving that most college kids are having, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it. It's like a sex frenzy. It's everyone's sleeping around and doing drugs and drinking and partying. That's why everybody's there. It's just for that. Not everybody. There are some people, I know some people who are so locked in. They're focused on their schoolwork. They're focused on their studies. They're not engaging in all that kind of activity. But it's like I don't want to be rude, but it's just a place for people that, you know what I'm saying? Oh boy. It's a place where people get excited because they're off on their own for the first time and they're having wild sex and trying new things, drugs, going to parties, drinking. And that's a lot what's going on. That's now again, there are some people who are so academically focused that they're not doing that and they're really focused on whatever they're studying, but very few. Very few. And it's like, yeah. When I have children, which I hope is soon, I'm gonna tell them when they turn 18, go somewhere. Go live. Go to some foreign country. Go figure out, you don't know what you want at 18. You're too young. So I don't know, have some cool life experience. Go study somewhere, go learn Spanish, I don't know, in Spain, or go to, I don't know, go do something, figure out what you want to do. But don't feel obligated to feel like you need to know what you want to do at 18. It's too young. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I just don't know how it's possible to jump into the deep end of debt at that early age. And so anyways, that's just my theory. I mean, different countries do it differently. In China, school is not as long and it's not expensive, so it's not as much of a big decision. The average college in China costs $3,000 a year, so for them it's different. It's not as much of a risk as it is in the US because you're getting yourself into loads of debt. And in China, people are very focused on schoolwork versus I think in America, people are less focused on education. They're more focused on sex and drinking and partying. For real. And that's what they're doing more than they're doing their schoolwork and focused on what they're studying. They're focused on parties and having fun. And yeah. So anyways, there's gotta be a different way. And I always say this, every book they have in college, they have at the library. You know? So anyways. If I want to learn something, I'm going to go learn about that thing from that place. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. In my opinion. But hey, everybody has a different route in life, and some people, they enjoy college, they want to do the whole college thing, and I love that for them. I love that for you. If you want to do that, that's amazing. But I just think that too many people do it because they think it leads to success, and it's not true, you know? Or they're doing it to please some family member. Yeah. A lot of people will go to college to please some family member, which is also stupid. Or they don't want to do it themselves. They're doing it because, oh, my dad said I have to, my mom said I have to, because my grandma said I had to. You know? Or it's like, is it something you want to do? Is that what you want to do? And they, like I said, Dave Ramsey and Jordan Peterson did a study on baby boomers or Gen X. And it's like something 70% of Gen X, they don't use the degree that they got in college. But they spent thousands on it. Oh. You have higher. I just try. I try my best. And I feel like I don't know. I've always been a incredibly inquisitive person. Like I really want to know things. Like I don't want to be just doing what everybody's doing. I don't want to be a robot. Like everybody is these freaking robots. I'm like, no. I don't want to just do what everyone's saying or listen to what everybody's saying. I want to kind of figure it out on my own. So, no, I'm not going to sign up to be a robot and just do what everybody else is doing, say what else everybody else is saying. That's scary. That's the Matrix, right? That's the Oh, we got a donation. Thank you so much, Constance. Constance. Girl. Constance, thank you so much. Constance, technically, is the first official, other than Alex, you gave super chat. Thank you so much. Donator, she donated $35. So I'm gonna pull up there's three $35. I'll take this one. Thanks so much, Constance. If you guys didn't know, I am fundraising for this goal of visiting every country in the world. So every donation, you're literally helping me up this mountain of trying to finish every country in the world. So thank you so much, Constance. Just donated $35. I didn't even know you were in here, Constance. Thank you so much. And so I'm going to give you 10 places you must travel. Okay. 10 places you must travel. Now, am I saying you have to visit all 10? No. But I would say any one of these 10 would be a good idea. Do we have to say Japan? Or at this point, does it go without saying? I tell everyone you should go to Japan. Japan is my favorite place on earth. Japan is my favorite country on earth. Japan is my favorite place of existence. The food is delicious. The people are kind. It's matcha land. You're gonna feel so healthy. Everyone always says if you spend more than like a month in Japan, your skin starts glowing. You start feeling all peaceful. It's just my favorite place on earth. Oh my gosh, I can't go. Japan is just everything. I was just in Japan for 3 months. I spent November, December, and January in Japan, and I literally was crying the day I was leaving, even though I was there for 3 months. It wasn't enough. Yeah, Japan is amazing. The people are sweet, it's kind, it's clean. It'll teach you so much about behavior in life. I've learned so much from Japanese people and the way they live life. No. Are you guys here? Can you give me a thumbs up if you guys are here? Okay. Don't know what just happened. So sorry. I was talking about Japan. Everything's okay, yeah? Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know what just happened. I think like the internet just like glitched for a second. Okay. Thanks, Constance. I see you now. You've literally donated so many times. Thank you so much, Angel from heaven. So I'm saying, sorry, we just had a little bit of a glitch. I think everything's fine. I was giving 10 travel recommendations. So I 100% think Japan, especially if you have a long time to go, the longer the better. So many different places, so affordable. You just sent a donation. Oh my gosh, we just got another donation from Diane, from Daryl. I see a donation from Diane. Daryl, I don't see it. Or is it from Diane? Okay, 1 second. I just got a $25 donation from Diane, but before I pull this down, I'm gonna finish this one for Constance. This says 10 travel recommendations. I'll kind of run through them. Of course, I think everyone should go to Japan. You're gonna learn so much. It's just a beautiful, peaceful place. Another place I highly recommend you should travel is you can do like a backpacking trip through Europe. It can be extremely affordable. You can literally take a bus to each country. That's how I traveled Europe. I traveled every single country in Europe. I literally did the whole thing on bus. You can go to France, take a bus trip to Spain, take a bus trip to Netherlands, take a bus trip to wherever, Slovakia, take a bus trip to Austria, Switzerland. That brings me to my next recommendation, Switzerland. It is expensive though, so yeah, I'd have to put that in there. It's, I think, one of the most expensive places to travel on earth or to live, whatever, but it's beautiful. It is ethereal. It's like God blessed Switzerland. That's all I know. It is one of the most beautiful, breathtaking places on planet Earth. Another place I think you should travel, that's four. Another place I think you should travel is, hold on, let me think. Belize. Belize has some of the best food I've ever had in my entire life. Belizean, is that the word? Belizean people. They're so kind, some of the kindest people you'll ever meet. And Belize has, I was like, yeah, amazing, amazing. You are never going to regret that. It's going to be amazing. You're not going to want to leave. But Belize is beautiful. I've had some of the best food in my life. I was brought to tears over the food in Belize. Absolutely delicious and extremely kind people. Where do you start when you backpack and bust around Europe? It doesn't matter, actually. It doesn't matter where you start. I started in Paris. It's the easiest city to fly into, but it doesn't matter where you start. You can start in any city. You can start even in London if you wanted to, but you can literally take these little $15, $20, 20 euros bus to the next country. It's so cheap and so easy, and so many people do it. And I feel like Europe is one of those places that everybody, you have to experience Europe, you know? So you can take yourself a trip from Paris. You could take a bus to Amsterdam, then you could take a bus from Amsterdam. You could go to Belgium. You could take a bus from Belgium. You could take yourself to Barcelona. You could go from Barcelona, take yourself a bus to like that. You're writing down those 10. Thank you. Yeah, I think busing. I mean, of course you can fly. The flights are super cheap too. That's one thing I love about Europe. You can get a $40 flight from France to the Netherlands. You can get a $40 flight from the Netherlands to Spain. You can get a $40 flight. The flights are so cheap, but even if you want to do the bus thing, totally doable. Or the train. Yeah, there's a train from London to Paris, and there's a train from London to Amsterdam. Super, super simple. That's why Europeans travel so much, because it's so easy for them. So they'll spend the weekend in Paris and go back home because it's so cheap, so simple. But I think that would be amazing. I love Europe. Love it. Another place, yeah, I said Switzerland. Switzerland is expensive, but some people, if you can afford Switzerland, by all means, go. It is so breathtaking. It feels like you're on the set of a movie. It's so beautiful. Switzerland is just, and you have to go there and try the chocolate. I can't even think about Swiss chocolate right now. When you go to Switzerland and you eat chocolate, you're just gonna feel like, okay, you've lived. You can die now. You can die now because you've lived. Oh my gosh, especially the hot chocolate. Oh my gosh, the best thing in the world is being in Switzerland during the wintertime and getting the Swiss hot chocolate. And they don't have a hot chocolate powder patch. They melt, to make hot chocolate, they melt down chocolate. It doesn't come from a package. Oh, and in Switzerland, you can visit the chocolate museum. I visited the chocolate museum. If you guys watch my vlogs around that time, then you saw me go to this museum. I think I remember you saying you got chocolate as a gift and ended up eating it. You know exactly. I'm gonna tell that story really quickly. Girl, you know me. You're absolutely right. So I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story. I went to this chocolate museum in Switzerland, right? This is where chocolate was invented, you guys. This is the museum. The factory where chocolate was invented is in Switzerland. There's this genius guy. His name was Cartier. Cartier. I can't say his name. Whatever. He literally was looking at. He was a farmer. He farmed Swiss cows. So he's looking. He just made, and produced milk from his Swiss cows, and he knew about chocolate because chocolate had came from the Amazon. The Amazon people had like a big chocolate trade with Europe. So milk chocolate, the candy was not invented yet. So he was looking at chocolate, which was only used as a drink before. The chocolate nuts came from the Amazon and it was already in Europe, but it was only this kind of drink. So he was looking at chocolate and he was looking at Swiss milk and he was like, chocolate, milk, chocolate, milk. He's like, what happened if I put them together and we made this like candy? He invented literally chocolate, boom, right in Switzerland. He mixed the Swiss milk with the chocolate from the Amazon, boom, made chocolate. This is literally the first chocolate place. This is the invention of chocolate. You can still go to this day and visit the museum. I visited this museum, right? This was one of the best days of my life. Like, I was in heaven. This was just was it last year? No, it was the year before last year. You guys, it was my birthday. I was in heaven. It was around my birthday. My birthday is December 25th, so I spent like most of December in Switzerland. And so I went to the chocolate museum, one of the best days of my entire life. And while you're going through the museum, they're telling you the process of chocolate. They're telling you how the Amazon people brought it to Europe, but it was just a drink. Then he was a farmer, he blah, blah, blah. They're telling you the history. Then they're allowing you to taste the chocolate the whole time. I felt like I was taking drugs. Like, I'm not even kidding. I've never taken drugs, but I felt like I was taking drugs because I was like on this high because the chocolate was just so good. So then you go through the museum, right? And then it opens up to this big gift shop, right? And there's this giant gift shop and you can buy all the chocolate you want. And so I remember the whole day, I'm telling all of my family members, I'm telling all my friends, I'm telling everybody I know, I'm eating the best chocolate I've ever had in my life, right? So like, I'm promising all these people that I'm gonna bring them chocolate. So I remember I spent, you guys, wait for it, $300 on chocolate. I spent $300. I bought a giant bag of chocolate because I was going to ship some to my grandma. I was going to ship some to my mom. I was going to ship some to my siblings. I was going to ship some to my friends, my boyfriend, everyone, right? And I was hyping everybody up. That's the worst part. I was hyping everybody up for the chocolate. So people were excited, you know what I'm saying? Because I was telling them, I got you chocolate, right? So listen, it was December 24th. My birthday is December 25th. And so I had went to the chocolate museum on December 24th. And so I remember going back to my hotel in Switzerland. I was alone, by the way. I went to my hotel and I just kind of put the bag of chocolate. By the way, the chocolate was expensive though, like Switzerland is expensive. So although I spent $300 on chocolate, the chocolate was really expensive, So, but it was still a big bag of chocolate. So I remember I went back to my hotel and I put the bag like in the fridge. It was like I got ready for bed. As soon as I got into bed, I was like, I want a piece of chocolate. So I was like, I'm just gonna take 2-3 pieces of chocolate. It's okay, you know what I'm saying? Nobody will care, even though all the chocolate I bought was for family and friends, Literally, you guys, by morning, that whole bag of chocolate was empty. My hotel room was full of wrappers. There was wrappers on the bed. There was wrappers on the floor. I ended up eating the entire bag of chocolate that night. The entire thing. Which I was kind of ashamed, Eating $300 worth of chocolate in one night that I bought as souvenirs for people. Um, but no regrets at the same time. My excuse was that it was my birthday. I used that as an excuse. So yeah, next time you need to spend 601. I bought a lot of chocolate, like it was a lot. I was getting chocolate for everyone. I was like, I literally was so excited for everyone to try this chocolate. So I bought so much chocolate. It was gone by morning. Mm-hmm. I woke up on my birthday, December 25th. The bag of chocolate was gone. Literally gone. And I wasn't going to go back to the museum to get more either. So I just apologized. I was just like, sorry guys, you're not going to be able to taste it. You're gonna have to take yourself to Switzerland. But it was my birthday, so I kind of used that as an excuse. Like, it's my birthday, so who cares, right? Anyways, in general, you don't have to go to the chocolate museum in Switzerland to get good chocolate. You can get good chocolate anywhere, but the museum, I just never tasted anything like that in my entire life. In my entire life. It wasn't very healthy to do that, but yeah, anyways, that was very funny. So yeah, that's what I did, and no regrets. But yeah, I highly recommend you to go to Switzerland. It's gorgeous, especially in the winter time. Actually, both times a year, winter and summer, they give completely different vibes. But yeah, birthday trip for me. So if I think it's a beautiful place to spend. Like if you can go there during the holidays, it's just magical. Another place I highly recommend to go is Sweden. Sweden hit me like Sweden surprised me. I wasn't expecting to like Sweden at all, but I loved it. Stockholm is such a beautiful city, and it's very diverse. There's a lot of different cultures in Sweden, but it's just like, especially if you want to be inspired fashion wise, all the girls in Sweden are so freaking fashionable. Like, nobody just rolls out of bed. Everybody looks so clean, and I don't know, I feel like I was inspired when I went there. Like, but people are nice, the food is good, and it's beautiful. I love Sweden. I also went to IKEA in Sweden and I had Swedish meatballs. Insane. I would say put that on your bucket list. Go to Sweden, visit IKEA because IKEA is from Sweden. Get the Swedish meatballs and the cranberry sauce. Life changing, life changing, delicious. Um, that's 5 places. I have another 5 places to recommend before I pull this down because Diane donated. Okay, so 1 second. 5 more places I think you should travel. I think you should travel to Namibia. Namibia is very beautiful, very, very beautiful. I'm sure you guys have heard about or at least seen my Namibian vlogs. If not, maybe check them out because Namibia is so beautiful. There's lots of animals. You can get up close personal with the animals, and they have some really, really beautiful boutique hotels. And you can travel like the whole country, you know, because it's not very big. Another place I think you should travel is, I think you should go to Iceland. Iceland is gorgeous. They have, especially if you want to be relaxed. If you want to be relaxed, baby, go to Iceland. There is nothing to worry about in Iceland. Nothing. It's just mountains and ice and horses and I don't know, the simple life and nature, breathtaking nature, and these beautiful spas. So I would say go to Iceland. You must go. It is incredibly relaxing. I think it's also expensive, but I think they're working on trying to make Iceland cheaper. That's what I heard. But I don't know. Expensive means something different for everybody, so I don't know. But yeah, another place I highly recommend you to travel is Afghanistan, of course. It's beautiful. If you want to have your mind changed, you're going to be like, wow, the news lies about this place. They're so kind. It's so beautiful. The food is delicious. They're very hospitable, and they love visitors. They love visitors. So they will treat you so well. And yeah, highly recommend Afghanistan. It is safe. I would never advise anybody to go somewhere where they'd be harmed, you know, so It is safe. Another place I recommend you to travel is, I don't want to say anywhere cheesy. I would say Lago di Gardia, which is a little city in Italy. It's not a city, it's a little beach town in Italy. It's gorgeous, beautiful, relaxing vibes. You can go there from Milan, Italy. You can literally take a train. You could even stay in Milan and take a train, like a day trip to Lago di Garda, and then come back to Milan if you want to go there. I don't like Rome, so I never tell people to go to Rome. Rome sucks. Do not go to Rome. Okay, if you go to Rome, go for one day. I hate Rome. It sucks. I hate it. The rest of Italy is so much more beautiful. Florence, Italy is one of my favorite places on earth. Beautiful. They have the best steak in the world. And tiramisu. Oh my gosh, I'm making myself hungry. So yeah, anyways, last, I have one more place to recommend for this. Constance, 10 places to recommend you to travel. Florence, Italy. After Florence, what's my last recommendation? I would say Istanbul. Istanbul is so beautiful. Oh, I don't want to say, no, I don't want to say Istanbul. I want to change my answer. I think you should go to Croatia. Croatia. Croatia is a beautiful country in Europe, and it's just beautiful and gorgeous. And it looks like Greece. Blue waters, Mediterranean vibes, diverse, good food. Croatia is very beautiful. Boom. Those are my 10 places I recommend you to travel. Okay, we got a $25 donation from Diane. So I'm going to pull down this donation. Thank you so much, Diane, for your donation. And this says, I will tell you a Bible verse you probably need to hear. Let me get my Bible. I hope this is okay. I'm gonna hit you with, I know exactly where I'm going with this. But I'm looking for it. It's in Luke. Hold on. Boom. I'm gonna hit you with Luke 12:22. Jesus said, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life. Do not worry about what you will eat or what you will drink, or about your body or what you will wear. For isn't life more than food, and isn't your body more than clothes? Consider the ravens. They do not reap, they do not store in their barns, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable are you than birds? So who are you, by worrying, can add a single hour to your life? Since you cannot do this very thing, why do you worry about the rest? Consider the wildflowers as they grow. They do not labor or spin, yet I tell you, not even Solomon in his splendor was dressed like one of these. If the Lord God clothes the grass of the field and the lilies of the valley, which is here today and gone tomorrow and thrown into the fire, how much more will he clothe you? You have so little faith. And do not set your heart on things like what you will eat or what you will drink. Do not worry about it, for even pagans run around and worry about such things. And your Father knows what you have need of. I tell you, seek his kingdom and righteousness, and these things will be added. Do not be afraid, little flock. Your Father has been pleased to give you the kingdom." Boom! That's my Bible verse. Are you guys still here? Guys? Are we having technical difficulties? Guys? Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys, I wasn't seeing any comments. But yes, that was for Diane, baby, and it was for everybody. Don't worry about anything. Don't worry about anything. You have nothing to worry about. You can't add an hour to your life by worrying. Yes, that is for you. Don't worry about a thing, baby. If God takes care of the flowers. and the birds. He's taking care of you, which he doesn't love those things. He doesn't love birds. He doesn't love flowers. He loves you. Boom! And those are our last two donators. Thanks, guys, who are donating. And if you, I think we could finish the board. Yes, take it. Because it's true. Feelings. There's somebody who says, if you're not in the Word, you're in your feelings. If you're not in the Bible, you're in your feelings. Feelings change, the Bible doesn't. Right? Right, guys? So, yeah. Thank you, everybody who has donated, even the super chats. And if you want to donate, please do. I'm raising money for my next 20. I'm actually raising money for the whole goal of visiting every country in the world. So if you want to donate, please do. I have it pinned in the comments here, my Cash App, Maryjane Byram. I use Cash App because I get 100% of the donation. Versus on YouTube, I don't get 100%. And you can donate any one of these amounts, and then I'll rip the sucker down and I'll do anything it says underneath. There's something cool and different underneath each one of these things, so. And thanks, guys. Thanks so much. Thank you. And I think I'm going to try to finish this board before our live is over. I think we can do it. You're listening. Oh, good. I'm glad. And yes, I truly believe all those places you will love, and no rush. You don't have to be there tomorrow. You don't have to be there next week. But try to go somewhere you never thought you would ever want to travel, or that most people don't travel. Everybody goes to the same places: Dubai, Paris, Bahamas. Why not go somewhere a little different? You learn something else. And please don't go on those group trips. I hate those so much. I always see those group trips, where you see a group of people get off of a bus and then there's like one guy with a flag and he's walking you around. I mean, if some people, sure. If that works for you, it works for you, but you didn't like Paris. Why? Why didn't you like it? I happen to love Paris, but it is very touristy, unfortunately. But it's Paris, so I kind of get it, but Paris is like, I love Paris. But I do hear like 50-50. People either say that like Paris was disappointing to them or they loved it. It's usually never in between. But I happen to love Paris. My favorite thing in the world is like riding a bike around Paris. Nothing better. And the food is delicious. A lot of people trying to get you to buy stuff. They put up the price if they know you're American. True. Very true. I actually find that with everywhere I go. That's true also with the entire continent of Africa. With the entire same here. Same in a lot of places. In Egypt, do not say you're American in Egypt. Don't even say it. But yeah, unfortunately that is the case in a lot of places. Morocco, same there. They hear you're American and it's like, oh, now I'm gonna charge you $50 extra on this thing. That, especially at the restaurants in Egypt, if they hear you're American. Oh, the company, okay. Yeah. Yeah, if the company you keep is very important. And I think if you travel with somebody, it's a different experience than traveling by yourself. Totally different. Completely different. Not saying one's worse or one's better, but they're definitely different. The experiences are totally different. But yeah, I happen to love Paris, but it's not for everybody. Totally understand that. My favorite thing is just hopping on a bike. They have these rental bikes everywhere around Paris. You can rent a bike for the day for like 10 euros. And baby, once I get on that bike, it's over. I am just in my own world. And I'll just ride the bike the whole day. I'll stop, get some food, get back on the bike, stop, get some food, get back on the bike. I love Paris. But it, like you said, it can be extremely, extremely overwhelming if they know you're American. But see, nobody knows where I'm from in Paris because everyone assumes I probably live there because I'm by myself and I'm riding a bike. So they probably don't think, oh, she's like a tourist, you know what I'm saying? But if you're in like a tourist group, I can imagine how annoying that might be. You might get harassed a lot, you know? But I don't think anybody knows I'm a tourist, or everyone assumes I live there, which I consider Paris a home. So maybe nobody knows, you know. I'm just doing my own thing all day. I get on one of those rental bikes. It's literally bliss for me. That's one of the happiest, most fun things I think I've ever done and love to do. Just renting a bike and just biking around Paris. Nothing like it. There's nothing like it. And it's not inexpensive, it's free. Well, no, the bike isn't free, it's like 10 euros. And then I get hungry and I'll stop at some little cafe. Then I'll get back on the bike. Then get hungry again, stop at another little mom and pop place. That's another thing about Paris. Another thing about Paris is there's a lot of touristy, gimmicky food places. So you've got to avoid them because the food is disgusting. Because it's like a touristy, it's not a real Parisian or real French place. So you have to know where to eat. I always tell people that. Because you can run into some touristy, like, disgusting food in Paris very easily. Because they're not even owned by French people, you know, they're just tourist traps. And they have a Disney World that's way cheaper than the Disney World. Like, it's literally, some guy made a YouTube video about this. It's cheaper to fly to a foreign country and go to Disney World for like a week than it is to like go to Disney World in the United States. Like, you could go to Disney World in the US. If you spend a week there, it is way more expensive than going to any other Disney in any other place in the world. It is cheaper to fly to Tokyo and go Disney there, or fly to Paris and go to Disney there. It's cheaper. The Disney World in US is so ridiculously expensive, so a lot of people do that. They'll like fly to Paris. I saw some family on YouTube. A family flew to Paris and went and spent like a week and went to Disney World, and they said it was way cheaper than doing it in the US, and they're from the US. So anyways, also Disney Paris is it's a vibe. It's tiny, but it's still a vibe, you know. So yeah, US is expensive. Very expensive. So a lot of other places out here are way cheaper. Way cheaper. So that's that. I'm thinking, you give it another try. Give it another try. Give Paris another try. And try, I always tell people, try not to do the touristy thing. Try to just, literally, this is what I do. You guys, I've been to 135 countries. I've never planned anything. I'll go by myself. Go to Paris solo. And then come back and tell me how you liked it. I think you will love it. You meet so many people. That's one thing about the advantage of being solo. you open up so many doors that otherwise wouldn't be open. You get to speak to so many locals. People feel more comfortable to come approach you and talk to you. I mean, not creepy people, but like I meet so many people that will talk to me just because I'm by myself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't want some of the people who are talking to me to talk to me, but that's how I met literally all of my best friends. Literally, one of my best friends, Adele, I was in Kazakhstan sitting in Starbucks by myself in the middle of nowhere in Kazakhstan, and this girl just comes up to me and she's just like, you know how girls like, I saw this meme and it was like how girls start friendships. It's like, you're so pretty. She comes up to me, she's like, you're so pretty, are you here by yourself? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you're so pretty. And she's like, can I eat with you? I'm like, yeah. She's literally one of my best friends. um she talked to me because she saw me at Starbucks sitting by myself, and she was like, there's this foreign girl here by herself, like what is she up to, let me talk to her. I don't know, like I just feel like you just get a different experience when you're solo. And it also, I told you in the beginning of this live stream, I don't know if you were listening, that's how I learned to speak Chinese. When I first moved to China, I was moving there because my sister was there. When I first got there, I assumed every day I'm going to be with my sister all day long. I didn't realize, well, I did realize, I knew she had a job, but I didn't know I was going to be alone all day. As soon as I got to China, my sister was just like, okay, here's some money for food, I gotta go to work. And she would be gone the whole day. So I literally had to figure out stuff to do because I'm in this foreign country by myself. That's literally how I learned to speak Chinese. I was forced to go out in China by myself and I had to pick the language up. You know, right now US is ridiculous. The prices are, everything is terrible. No, I know. I know. The US is so expensive. So most places are way cheaper than US. I would say out here, even if they're the big names, even if they're the big names like Dubai, even if they're the big names like Paris, they're usually cheaper than US. And I'm talking food, transportation, even living. So yeah, I always tell that people in US, like the country's crazy. I was just there. I was just in US, and even me, I was like, dang, it's expensive here. Even though I'm from US, you know. A lot of places out here, they sound expensive, but they don't even come close to the expense, the way that the US is expensive, you know what I mean? So yeah. And I always tell that to people because every country I go, every single country that I go to, everyone tells me they want to move to the US. Oh, you made it. Thanks so much for joining. The US being so expensive is dividing people. People are in survival mode. Facts. I know. Facts. I know. It's crazy. It's like you're in the US, some people float in the middle, but there's a lot of people who are way above it where the prices don't affect them at all because they have money. And then there's people who are fighting to stay alive, fighting to pay their bills, living paycheck to paycheck. So I always tell that to people who want to tell me every country I go to, every single one, people tell me that they want to move to the US. Everywhere, every country, everybody wants to be in the US. It doesn't matter where I am. It's my dream to move to the United States. Every country I go to. Well, besides Asia. Asia, they love their own country, you know? But basically everywhere else, everybody wants to move to the US. And I always tell people, be prepared. It's expensive. You can't just move there and be like, oh, I hope to find a job. You gotta be ready. You have to be ready. Food ain't cheap, groceries ain't cheap, rent ain't cheap, so, you know, it's one of the most expensive places on earth for sure. For sure. You know, Dubai has all this reputation about being expensive. Dubai can't touch the United States with a 10-foot pole when it comes to the expense. When I'm in Dubai, I'm not spending a fraction of the money that I would spend in the US. Dubai is nothing in when I'm talking about the expenses compared to the United States. You're just in Patillas, Puerto Rico with your grandma, and she lives in the mountains, middle of nowhere. Wow, the amount of peace you felt. Didn't want to leave. That's amazing. I'd love to have a grandma in the mountains of Puerto Rico, in the middle of nowhere I could visit. It's a dream. That sounds, oh, Puerto Rico has some good food too. But yeah, um, statistically, Americans are known to be the most stressed out people in the world, which is really sad. Really sad. So something must be done. Something must change because the way the US is going right now is not sustainable. People are unhappy. People are stressed out, anxious, scared. And I don't know. Something must be done. Something's gotta give in the United States. That's why I don't live there anymore, and that's why people ask me, "Will you ever live in the United States?" No, I'm good. I'm good. I think the country was the. People say, "Do you think America's the best country in the world?" I think maybe it was in the '60s, but in today, it's a mess. And I realize it every time I go back. Every time I go back to the United States, I'm like, "Get me the heck out of here! I want to leave." Crazy. It's sad. So, who knows? Maybe in 30 years, America will come back to this admirable. I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe not, but who knows? You never know the trajectory of a country. But it's crazy. Yeah, a lot of people think there's some kind of rule where like you have to come back to your home country. There's no rule. The longest I've been outside of the US without going back is 2 years. But I was just there in September. Yeah. If you guys were watching my channel at the time, you saw me in the US. But yeah, there's no rule against leaving the US, not physically being there. It does not matter. But I visit periodically, I do. I mean, that's where I'm from. But, and everybody who is related to me is from there. Or everybody I'm related to. But as far as living, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And I don't like the health care system and all that stuff, but I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna get into that. But anyways, it's still the number one place everyone wants to live on Earth, baby. Let me say something. It doesn't matter where I am on Earth. Everybody tells me they want to move to the U.S. It's their dream to get to the U.S. It's my dream to get and move. Can you take me to the U.S., please? Everyone, everywhere. Everyone, everywhere says that to me, no matter what country I'm in. So, definitely a blessing and a privilege to be from America. I'm grateful that I'm American, actually. I don't hate being American. I think it's a blessing. I think it's also allowed me to be a world traveler because, like, it's not like I have, like, I don't know, like, how do I explain it? How do I see myself? I see myself as American. I don't identify with any other country, any other place, because I can't. It's hard for me to. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Americans, especially my family, it's just a mixture of a bunch of different cultures, you know? A bunch of different makeups. So it's not like I'm attached to one place or even have like one specific background, you know? Which maybe makes it easier for me to travel the world. Like I don't feel attached to any one place on the earth besides Japan. I know the world is huge kind of, but like the fact that you've been so many places, it feels so much less intimidating and attainable. That makes sense. The world is huge. Even for me, it's intimidating. Like, I feel like I've been so many places in Africa, and I haven't been to that many places. I've been to 12 African countries. There are 54. So, like, I feel like I've been so many places, but I really even haven't. As far, I'm like, just referring to the continent of Africa. Also, the fact that it's so hard for people from other countries to travel anywhere else is something that Americans definitely take for granted. Definitely. 100%. I feel so blessed to be American because the for the most part, traveling worldwide is easy, because most places, although the best passport in the world is the Japanese passport and the Emirates passport, they're the strongest passports in the world. But American passport is pretty strong. Americans can travel to 160 countries without a visa. So it just becomes really easy, and sometimes I see people going through immigration. Actually, all the time I see people going through immigration, and it's so much stress. And for me, it's always extremely simple with being American, and so I feel very blessed in that aspect that I don't go through hell when I'm trying to travel. In so many other countries, they can't go anywhere without applying like 3 months in advance, and they don't even know if they're going to get approved. I can't imagine. So this probably wouldn't even be possible if I weren't American. So yeah, I definitely like being American, and I feel American, and I feel a sense of pride in a way. But as far as living there, yeah. You need to get global entry. Right, global entry, for real. But yeah, the passport is pretty strong, and I'm very grateful for that. Very grateful. I have almost little to literally no trouble when I'm traveling. And I see people who have to get so much paperwork done, and they have to apply. My friend Takmina, she wants to travel so badly. If you guys follow me for any length of time, you know my friend Takmina. We went to school together in China. We're still friends to this day. We're still very close. She's from Kyrgyzstan, little tiny country in the Middle East. She literally can't go anywhere. I always say I'd love to travel with her. She would love to travel with me. But literally, the Kyrgyzstan passport, she can't go anywhere. She can't go anywhere. So literally, the only country she can go to is like China and her own country, which is crazy. So I asked her, like, you could travel with me, you can meet me here and here. And she's like, I'd have to apply literally 3 or 4 months in advance. And it's a long, drawn out process. You have to go to interviews. Oh, I can't even imagine. And you don't even know if you're going to get, accepted. Another thing I like is the fact that the US dollar is so strong. I love that. The US dollar usually is the currency most people travel with because it's so strong. So I love being employed by America. YouTube is my literal job. I'm literally employed by YouTube. I have W-2 and everything like that. And so to be able to make US dollars and travel is such a privilege because the US dollar is worth so much in these countries. Most countries, the US dollar is worth a lot. But that also, like you said when you said you hated when you went to Paris, that's another reason why you get jumped on a lot when you go to these foreign countries, because they see American and they think dollar signs, dollar signs. A lot of these people, if you go to Paris, you go to Egypt, you go to a lot of these countries, once they see Americans, they go, they're looking at you like, oh my gosh, she's got US dollars. I want them. You know what I mean? So it does also create a little bit of my grandfather traveled to Morocco, and he said he got off the plane and literally got right back on it and went back home because he couldn't stand the begging. The Americans. They literally got jumped. Like, they point, Americans, and then all these, you get jumped. Kind of like if you guys watch my Ethiopian vlog of Addis Ababa. Once they hear you're American, they get 20, 30 more people and they jump you. Right. Especially if you look real touristy. You got the camera around your neck, you got the selfie stick. Then your American is written all over you, and it can be quite stressful, quite annoying. I know. Taiwan. It's crazy. The crazy thing is, anybody could do what I'm doing. Anybody. It's just most people don't step out of their comfort zone. I'm not doing anything special that anybody else can't do. There's nothing special I'm doing. And anyone could do it, what I'm doing. It's just a lot of people don't step out of their comfort zone. Like I was saying in the beginning of this live stream, you're the sum of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So it's like we're heavily influenced by the people around us. If people around you aren't just taking a random trip to Ethiopia, you're probably not going to do that. But you could. It's very doable. But you're most likely going to do what everybody else around you is doing, or what your family has done. You know? But there's nothing that special about what I'm doing. I'm just going because I want to. But anyone could do this. It's not easy. I'm not doing it because it's easy, because it's not. It's anything but easy. It's anything but easy. Your life is probably easier than mine. For real. The amount of chaos that I go through in just a week, bro. The survival, I'm always in survival mode. Always. I'm always like, how do I stay alive? I'm by myself. How do I stay alive? And it's anything but easy, but bro. So I definitely don't want to give that off. I'm definitely not on like some vacation. It's not a vacation. Some people say, Maryjane, you're so lucky you get to be on a nonstop vacation. I'm like, this is not big. Do you watch my videos? It's fun though. It's fun, but not vacation. It is challenging. Whew. True. Agreed. What does easy even mean anyways? I don't even know what that means. I haven't been to Angola yet. You have kids. Huh. For many years. Oh, thank you so much. No, I don't know what it means. Easy. What does that mean? What do people mean when they say easy? I wasn't being sarcastic. I don't know what easy means. When people say easy, what are they referring to? What is easy? I wasn't being sarcastic. I was being serious. What is easy? So anyways, where are we? If you guys, if you don't know, I am fundraising, of course, for my goal of visiting every country in the world, and we're playing this fun game. I think it's fun. And you can donate any one of these amounts to the Cash App. Why Cash App? Because I get 100% of the donation. and I will do whatever it says underneath. So yeah, we'll see if we can finish this thing during this live stream. And you'll be helping me visit all these countries in the world, which is the goal, the game plan. That's the game plan, to finish every single country in the world. Not this year, we will not finish this year, but next year we will finish. This year, Africa will be finished. That is what I'm doing. Actually, I'm on a challenge to visit every country in Africa. One at a time. What? No effort, what? Jordan Peterson has an amazing quote in his book, 12 Rules for Life. No, nothing in life is easy. Even if you choose to stay in your comfort zone, you have to deal with the fruit of laziness, the fruit of lack of courage. You still have to deal with that. It doesn't feel good to be lazy. It doesn't feel good to be fearful. It doesn't feel good to procrastinate. None of those things feel good. So you're still dealing with the fruit of those decisions. We're all making decisions in life, and we're eating the fruit of our decisions. So even if you choose to be lazy or scared or anxious or judgmental, whatever you're deciding to be in life, whatever position you take, you still have to eat the fruit of those decisions. So, oh, you're just joining. What country am I visiting Africa next? That is a question for the donators. I'm answering these kind of questions for people who donate. So if you'd like to know, you can donate. If you don't want to donate, no worries, no problem at all. No problem at all. We're fundraising. This is what I gotta do. And no worries to people who don't want to donate, but I'm fundraising, baby, to visit these countries. And thank you so much to the people that to support. I hear weird noises in here. It's the middle of the night, so I'm like, what the heck was that? But yeah, a shout out to Constance, Diane. Thank you so much to Janelle. Those are the recent donators. Alex and Daryl. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thanks. And I appreciate you tuning into my videos very much. Yeah, but I don't know when people say easy, I think everybody means something different. I don't know when somebody says something's easy, it's like, meaning what? What is easy in life? I don't know. I really don't know what is easy. Being, for example, a decision to be married, is that easy? To not be married, is that easy? I don't know. I don't think either of them are easy. To have kids, is it easy? No. To not have kids, is it easy? Maybe easier, but lonely, purposeless. Is it easy to stay away from drama? Drama people. I don't know if that's easy either, because they're everywhere. So I don't know. I think everybody might mean something different when they say easy. Is it easy to be lazy? I don't think so. It's easier to be lazy than to get out of bed and go for your dreams, go for your goals. But I still don't think being lazy is easy. You have to eat the fruit of your laziness. It's not good fruit. Not tasty. It ain't tasty. Visiting every country in the world is not easy, but if I chose not to, I would be miserable because it's a huge goal of mine. So that wouldn't be easy for me either. To not go for my dreams, that wouldn't be easy. It would make me miserable. So you're just picking a hard. In life, you just pick what kind of hard you want to live. Going to the gym is hard, but also being fat and not liking yourself and looking in the mirror and being not happy with your body is also hard. So you're just picking a hard. Which hard do you want to live? Every decision we make has a consequence, right? Is it easy? Is it hard to eat healthy? I don't think so, but maybe for some people they think it's hard. But also eating bad is also hard because you have to deal with feeling bad. There's consequences in every choice we make. Yeah. So that's what I mean by I don't even think that easy exists. In life, you pick what kind of hard you want to live. You want to pick the hardness of being lazy and living in comfort? That's hard too, because you're not going to be happy. And that's there's a lady, there's somebody, Mindy Pels. I love her. She's like a health consultant, or she helps people get in shape or whatever. And she says, every day, do I feel like waking up and walking and hitting the gym, getting a workout in? She's like, no, there's days I want to stay in bed. Most days I want to stay in bed. She said, but I also want to love the body I'm in. She's like, I don't want to look in the mirror and literally hate my body. She's like, that's also hard, you know? Or feeling bad. Skip the way you look. You lay in bed, eat whatever you want. You're going to look like you lay in bed and eat whatever you want. You want to go to the gym? You're going to look like you go to the gym. Pick which hard you want. You want to live fearful? You're going to have to eat the fruit of fearfulness, you know? So I think in life, we just pick what kind of hard we want to live. Everything is hard. Everything is hard. So actually, I changed what I said about my life, you know. I mean, my life is definitely challenging, but it would be harder for me not to go after my dreams because I would be literally miserable. I would be miserable if I weren't every day getting up and saying, Maryjane, let's figure out how we're going to get a little bit closer to my dreams. You know? So that's what we're doing every day. That's what we're doing. And full steam ahead. Every day. Maybe you can't build the Great Wall of China in one day, but you definitely can put one brick down. You can do that. And that's how I see my goals. I have big goals and I can't do them. I can't figure out how to do it all. I really don't know how I'm going to do it. But I can figure out how to do something every day. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm doing. So full steam ahead. By God's grace and His mercy, I'm gonna do this, and you guys can do everything too. That whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do, and we're always picking some kind of decision in life. Our life is just decisions. Do you want to eat healthy? You want to put something that satisfies you in your body, or you want to put something that is healthy and is going to make you live longer, make you feel better in your body? Do you want to lay in bed? Do you want to get up and go for a walk? Do you want to put a smile on your face, or you want to be a grouch? I don't know. Do you want to lie? You want to tell the truth? Do you want to forgive? You want to hold a grudge? We're making decisions all day long. So And our life is a result of those decisions. Now, do unfair things happen to people? Absolutely. Absolutely. All the time. Innocent people have things that happen to them that they don't deserve. But I believe that strong people know how to move on from the things done from them and figure out how to make the best out of it and not dwell in the things that have happened to them, that they would consider unfair or whatever, because a lot of people have been dealt a bad hand in life, that had nothing to do with them. But I believe the best people figure out how to turn it into, how am I going to make this make me a better person? It works. So I truly don't believe anything in life is easy. Anything. You're just picking what kind of hard do you want. You want the hardness of laziness, you want the hardness of discipline. Because let's just say I was like, this goal of visiting every country in the world is too hard, because it is hard. Let's say I quit. I never will. Let's say I did quit. I would be miserable. And I probably would think every single day of my life about how I didn't finish the thing that I wanted to do so badly. So that would also, I think that would be harder because I would be so unhappy. So this is a good hard. The life I'm living is a good hard. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we got a donation. Thank you so much, but it's $10. We don't have a 10. But thank you so much. Carol, thank you so much for the $10. I can't pull a thing down, but thank you so much. I appreciate the $10. Thank you very, very much. Right. Balance is very important too. Balance in everything. Everything is a balancing act, right? Right? That's why, what's the book called? The Lovely Stoic? Is it, hold on. There's a book I just read when I read it when I was in the bookstore. The Daily Stoic. No, it's not the Daily Stoic. Hold on, it's called something about being stoic. I don't know what the freaking book is called, but I read a book recently. Something about being stoic. It just talks about the happiest people are the people who live here. They live not always up and down and up and down and up and down, and you live by your emotions. You're happy one day, you're sad the next day. You're happy one day, you're sad the next day. You feel loved, you don't feel loved. You feel motivated, you don't feel motivated. We all live that way, but there's people who know how to live outside of their feelings, right? Where you just you're somewhere in the middle. You're just kind of like, you're not super always this big spike of happiness and then this big dip of sadness. The happiest people learn how to live in the middle, where you're just kind of content and you sit somewhere here. So if something bad happens, you're still here. Something good happens, you're still here. You don't get, you know what I'm saying? That's how I aim to be in life, where I'm just kind of living by discipline, not living by my feelings. I think that's the best way to live, where you decide what you're going to do. It's like, because the feelings are going to happen all the time. Your mind might tell you, get a piece of chocolate cake. Get a piece of chocolate cake right now. You don't have to listen to that. You can be like, no, I'm not going to eat the chocolate cake. Not good for me. Right? Where you don't let your emotions rule you, or you wake up and you wanted to go to the gym last night, but now you don't feel like going to the gym anymore. You still go because you made a decision. I already decided I was going to the gym, so I don't really care what my feelings are going to do. They can do whatever they want to do. My feelings can change all day long if they want to. I don't care. Or I decided I'm going to forgive. So if one day I wake up and I want to reopen this wound again, it's not going to happen. I already made a decision. I was going to forgive. I was going to be a forgiving person. So the feelings can do whatever they want to do. I think that is the main cause of divorce. A lot of people get married on feelings. They don't get married on like a principle. If you're marrying somebody, it shouldn't be based on feelings because feelings change. You're gonna wake up one day and the person you married is gonna get on your freaking nerves. And you're not gonna feel any of the gushy feelings you had when, you first got with them. Whatever they do, there's still gonna be something that they do that gets on your nerves. So if you marry or if you're with somebody based on feelings, that is a relationship with an expiration date. With an expiration date. Or all friendships. It doesn't even have to be marriage. It's all friendships. All relationships, I would say. It has to be something deeper than feelings. You just heard this quote that said, "Life ain't fair, but is death fair?" Oh, I get it. It took me a second. It's crazy how many countries you've been to since 2019, since you subscribed. Wow, yeah. Been a long road. And you know what? I see the mountaintop. A lot of people, well, I always relate traveling every country in the world to climbing Mount Everest. And for a long time, I felt lost. Like, I have such a long way to go. How am I ever going to do this? Now, I feel like I see the mountaintop. Like, I can literally, it's in eye shot. It's within eye shot. I'm almost there. This goal of visiting all the countries in the world. Through blood, sweat, and tears, but we're still here. Still going. And I think that there's something to be said about that. Like, everything's going to come at you in life. Everything that can happen will happen. That's one of the laws of, although I'm not a Darwinian person, I don't believe in his mess. But there's like a quote from him. It's like, everything that can happen will happen. That's life. I don't like that man because he came up with evolution and all that other stuff, which I don't subscribe to. But I do believe in that concept. Everything that will happen everything that can happen will happen in life. The longer you stick to something, do you know what I'm saying? So I will say that with my travel journey, everything that could happen did happen. All the things have happened during this goal. All the things, all the bad things, all the good things, everything to stop me has happened. And I'm still going. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I don't care. Finishing this goal. And so I hope you guys go for your goals too, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be visit every country in the world. That's silly. Just to do something because somebody else did it. That's resiliency. Absolutely. And those are the most beautiful marriage stories too. Two people who stuck together even though literally everything came against. That is the beauty of marriage, actually. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think it's about gushy, ooey gooey feelings. It's not. Can you stick with something despite your feelings? That is the secret to success. Can you just keep sticking with it and keep sticking with it and keep sticking with it and keep sticking with it? I'm wondering, you've traveled and met so many people, probably met so many people. Have you ever stumbled across a soulmate in a foreign country? Do you mean my boyfriend? My boyfriend, yes. He is my soulmate. He's my best friend. Yep. Soulmate. And we've been through everything together. Highs, all the lows. And it's very nice to be able to see somebody, how they react when you're not going through such a good time, and vice versa. Are you gonna leave me when I'm going through a bad time? That is very important. I advise all people. It's very scary to marry somebody quickly. I always say that. That is some scary stuff. You need to be able to see this person through different seasons of life. When everything's falling apart, how does that person act? Do they leave you? You know what I'm saying? Yes, yes, yes. Best friend in the whole wide world. He's my best friend. And you know what's crazy? My brother prophesied me and this guy. My brother told me about 12 years ago, you're going to marry a so and so and so. Like the exact profession that my boyfriend is. My brother told me that. And I looked at him and I said, no, the heck I'm not. He said, no, you are. You're going to marry and he said the profession that my boyfriend is. I didn't know him yet though. Right? Is my mother watching? My mother can confirm this. Is my mother watching this? Maybe she's not watching. I don't know. Maybe she tuned out. Did you see it in your vision or you just had a feeling about it? What? Did I see what in my vision? What, darling? Are we lagging? Oh, Oh, he said he heard it from God. Which is crazy. He's like, God told me you're going to marry a blah, blah, blah. And he said the profession that my boyfriend is. And I said, ew, no. And the race. He said the race. And I said, no, I'm not. Oh, I'm so glad you think so. I'm so glad you think so. I love live streaming because it's more personal, you know? I feel like most times I just post a video and I just kind of post it. You know what I mean? I post it and I hope people like it, but it's not very personal. I don't get to interact with people, you know? And so this is like way cooler. Oh, we got a donation? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. We just got a $50 donation. Wow. Okay, 50. 50. Thank you so much. I'm trying to balance my whole back. I'm gonna tell you. Oh, you're gonna sign off. You'll keep watching. Oh, did you say you're tuning off? Or you said you're gonna keep watching? I am going to give you. Oh, sorry. I'm going to tell you a fun. Okay. Oh, you're still here. Okay. I'm going to tell you a fun travel fact. Here we go. Here's a fun fact for you. Did you know Iceland is the only country in the world that doesn't have mosquitoes? Despite having plenty of water and sustainable climates, Iceland is one of the few places on Earth where mosquitoes don't exist. You know what? I've been to Iceland and I never even realized that. It's the only country on earth that doesn't have mosquitoes, making it paradise for travelers who hate bugs. Iceland doesn't house many bugs in general. My love for Iceland just kicked up a notch. Because I've been to Iceland, and now that I'm hearing it, I'm like, right, I didn't really see bugs. Like, bugs just like aren't a thing there. They do have some, but no mosquitoes. It's the only country on earth with no mosquitoes. That's heaven. When I was in Ethiopia, especially in the Omo Valley, I was being eaten alive by mosquitoes. That's why they make you. I had to get before I went to the Omo Valley, I had to get 4 vaccinations. I had to get a hepatitis shot. I had to get malaria shot. I had to get all these shots because the mosquitoes there. You need to visit there. You went to Cuba. Oh gosh, there must be so many in Cuba. I haven't been to Cuba yet, but very excited to visit there one day when we're finished Africa. Wow, Iceland. I love that about Iceland. That's crazy. I know. I love it. And it's crazy because I've been to Iceland, but it's like I didn't even think about the fact that I wasn't really seeing any bugs. Amazing. Iceland, I need to go back. I need to go to Iceland. I need to go back to Iceland. Iceland is so beautiful. You guys should visit. So beautiful, so peaceful. I'm sure that you guys already know that. But yeah, thanks so much for the $50 donation. Wow, that is huge, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think we can finish this charge, guys. I think we can finish it. And thanks guys so much for donating. You're literally helping me. It's either because the Iceland never gets warmer than 50 degrees. So yeah, that's why there's no mosquitoes, and that's why a lot of bugs aren't there. Most bugs prefer heat or need heat, to reproduce for everything. So the bugs just die if the bugs there just can't exist. Iceland never gets warmer than about 50 degrees. So I remember being in Iceland during the summertime, and it was very cold. Actually, the last time I was in Iceland, it was summertime. It was July and it was freezing. So yeah, it doesn't warm up there, and there's like no humidity. So bugs they're like, nah, we're good. We want to go where we can reproduce. And yeah, so that's wild. Iceland and no mosquitoes. The only country with no mosquitoes. I hate mosquitoes. I hate mosquitoes so much. And baby, I've been getting eaten alive, especially when I was in, like I just said, when I was in Ethiopia, southern Ethiopia. I don't know how they live with those. I guess they don't have a choice. Yes, I did experience 24 hours of sunlight. When I was in Egypt, it's funny because the first time I went to Iceland, I went during wintertime, and there was only 3 hours of sunlight. And I didn't know that. So it freaked me out. The very first time I went to Iceland, I was like, where is the sun? I remember our flight landed. The first time I went to Iceland, I went in November, so the dead of the winter. Oh my gosh, the plane lands at like 1 p.m. and it's dark. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, why is it dark? Where is the sun? They're like, oh, in the wintertime, we only have 3 hours of sunlight. So the sun comes up somewhere around 3 p.m. and it sets somewhere around 6 p.m. So that was very annoying the first time I went. And then the next time I went to Iceland, I went during the summer, and there's 24 hours of sunlight. So the sun never sets. And I liked it. It was cool for the first 2 days, and then it gets on your nerves. Because like it's very hard for your body to go to sleep when it's just like always light outside. It's so confusing. So I liked it for like the first 2 days. Then it really got on my nerves. And like I was trying to find ways to like block out the sun so I could go to sleep at nighttime. It was freaky because it's like your body is like, what the heck is going on? Your body doesn't want to go to sleep. When you wake up, it's confused. When you go to sleep, it's just really confusing. So I found myself completely trying to block out all the lights in the hotel room, you know, so that I could feel some sense that it was nighttime. That's crazy. Are people always outside? No, people aren't always outside. Most people are indoors in Iceland. It's really cold. There's not a whole lot to do in Iceland, so most people are indoors, unless you're out and about. You know, you could be taking care of cattle or working, but most people are indoors. Yeah, I have some Iceland vlogs on this channel. Check them out. I need Iceland is gorgeous, but extremely desolate. Like, it has a very small population, so you're just sitting in nature, baby. In nature. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful country. Won't be going there this year, but we'll be going back soon. This year is all about Africa. Stephanie? This year is all about Africa. Finishing Africa. So yeah, that's the name of the game. You were in Iceland in the summer, and it was 77 degrees. The ice caps would melt. The glaciers would melt. It's nice to get all the real stuff that somebody's life actually has been to these places. Yeah. I've been, and I learned so much. And it's like I always say, is anything easy in life? I don't think so. So, no, not easy, but and I love to be able to share my experiences with you guys. I always say, if I didn't have you guys, all this stuff I'm doing wouldn't really be fun. I mean, I guess in a sense it would be fun in and of itself, but it would just be literally 20% as fun. You know? It would be 20% as fun as it is now to be able, and fulfilling to be able to share this stuff with you guys. I've been to 135 countries. Over 7 years of traveling. Yeah, and the goal is to finish this mission of visiting every country in the world next year. This year I plan to finish the continent of Africa, because Africa is so big. There are 54 countries in Africa. So my whole plan is, you know what? Let's strap down here in Africa. Let's get this continent finished, because it's literally like my biggest hurdle. There's so many countries here that aren't necessarily easy to travel, so I was like, I want to get it done. I want to get Africa done. But that's the goal for this year. That's what I'm doing. I've been to 12 countries in Africa. I've been to Morocco, Tunisia, Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, and Namibia. No, it's not like visiting 50 states. No. Way different. First of all, the United States, let's say the United States is this big. Africa is like this big. The size, you could fit 3 or 4 United States inside of Africa. They actually don't even show the real size of Africa on like our average map that we have. It doesn't even show how big Africa really is. If Africa is like this big, the United States is like here, way smaller. You could literally fly from one end of the US to the other in 5 hours. You know, you can't do that with Africa. Africa is, and I've taken a bus. You guys, I actually have a YouTube video about that. I took a bus from New York to LA. It took 72 hours. 72 hours. That's nothing. And I took my bus, I got on the bus in New York, and we even made a lot of stops. Like, we stopped several times on the bus trip. But I took a bus from New York City all the way to LA. It took 72 hours, and we took multiple stops. So the US isn't very big. Um, and it's easy to travel, you know? You could just literally go to the next place and the next place and the next place. Africa? It's taking everything I have. Solo traveling Africa is just, oh my God. It's not easy. The visa processes, the vaccination processes, the um oh boy, the money, everything. It's extremely difficult, which is why you don't really see a lot of people trying to visit all of Africa. I don't know anybody who's trying to do this. Um, it's difficult. It's really difficult. You can't just necessarily just hop to the next country. Not really. A lot of the countries here don't get along with each other, you know? There's a lot of beef. So, no, you ever watched Itchy Boots? No, I haven't watched Itchy Boots, but I feel like somebody said that in yesterday's live. I don't remember what they said it was about. I've never heard of that. What is that all about? Girl from Netherlands, she rides her bike through Africa. Yeah, somebody definitely said that in the live yesterday, but I've never seen that. Never seen that. I could never do that. I couldn't. Too dangerous. Is it a real story? I feel like it's too dangerous. What's stopping anyone from just jumping me and kidnapping? You know, if I just took a bike through the Netherlands. I mean, bike through Africa. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But yeah, we are going at a pace, a really good pace. I'm gonna speed up a little bit. Well, there's a lot of countries I'm going to very soon that I'm only gonna be in for like a few days. For example, Rwanda, I'm only gonna be there for 48 hours. Burundi, I'm gonna be there for like 48 hours. So I'll be able to pick up the pace a little bit and start kind of visiting like 4 to 5 countries a month. Because a lot of these countries, they don't require a ton of time. Rwanda, there's really not that much to do. I don't really want to be there that long. 48 hours, you know. So that's gonna make it a little bit easier. It's not like I'm gonna be spending 2-3 weeks in every single country. I'm not doing that, you know. So yeah, a country like Lesotho, it's a little tiny country, 3 or 4 days. Little country like Eswatini, also known as Swaziland, 3 or 4 days. So yeah, that will help me to be able to pick my pace up a little bit and kind of start visiting, like I just said, 4 to 5 countries every month, and that's how I plan to visit literally all of Africa in 2025. And so I will be traveling consistently non-stop without stopping until Africa's finished. So pray for me, guys. Pray for me. But yeah, we're gonna do it, and I will literally finish. If everything goes as planned, I'll finish in December, and then I'm going to sleep. I'll be taking a nap for about 2 weeks before I get back out there and finish the rest of the world. But when I finish Africa, I will have officially been to 177 countries. So it will be very easy to finish the goal of visiting every country in the world next year when Africa's finished. It'll be a piece of cake. A piece of cake, maybe not a piece of cake, but it'll be easier. Like less than, 20 countries to finish. So thank you guys so much. I very much appreciate the people who cheer me on or just tune into my videos. You're helping, actually, so thank you. And especially to the people who donate, thank you very much. You're helping me up this mountain. Appreciate it so much. I think we might wrap up this live stream. It's very late. I'm hearing the birds chirping. So I think that I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. I was like, do I want to say tomorrow? Tomorrow? Maybe I'll come back tomorrow. Have a chit chat. If not, also I'm uploading a movie tomorrow. I made a big video. It's like an hour and 30 minutes long of my entire trip to Ethiopia. So tune into that if you want to. I uploaded my Ethiopia vlogs, like I split up days and made multiple videos, but I made a big movie. So it's like if you want to watch my whole Ethiopian experience, and I'll upload that I think Friday. And it's Thursday for me, so tomorrow for me, but maybe in 2 days for you. I don't know. I don't get time. I don't understand time anymore. Anyways, so yeah, stay tuned for that. And after that movie comes, you'll see where I'm going next. So I'll upload my Ethiopian movie. It's like an hour, 30 minutes. Then I'll show you guys my next country, where I am, what I've been doing, where I'm going, all that good stuff. So thanks so much, guys, for tuning in and watching and subscribing and being a part of this journey, because you're very much a part of it. Even if you don't want to be, you are. So I am going to go to sleep. And thank you guys so much for donating, who did. And I'll catch up with you guys literally, I think, tomorrow. Yeah, I'll probably talk to you guys tomorrow. So see you then, and we'll finish the game tomorrow. We're gonna get the game finished. So see you guys so much. I love you so much. God bless you. Good night. Good night.